little bit, but that's fine.
Okay.
It's always nice to have you here. I'm just setting up all the live stream stuff. All right. I have everything copy and pasted, so all I have to do is drag and drop. No. Okay. Our guest, Jay. Are you mainly on TikTok, Jay?
Yes.
Love it. You have a lot of respect in this group. Yay. I'm gonna say, no, it is not made for children. All right.
So YouTube asks you that question now every time you upload anything, right?
Yep. And I always have to say no because they have a different YouTube channel for kids. All right. We're live and we have one person watching.
It's probably my wife.
Well, we do have a chat portion that I monitor, just so you know.
Okay.
Let's see. Okay. Kim says hello, if that helps.
Hello.
Hi, Kim. Hi, Kim. All right. So how many devices do you end up using in the course of your day?
Mainly just my phone and my headphones. So I have an iPad now and I'm trying to learn to use Apple's everything.
Yeah.
And it is horribly frustrating for me. Like I'm using it right now for this for stream, because yesterday I also used it for, I had a Zoom interview for a possible internship.
Oh,
and
nice.
It's just trying to learn how to do everything. I'm used to doing everything the Android way, which I feel like is quicker for me. And just trying to learn how to do it through iOS is just, it's nerve-wracking. Like, it's nerve-wracking. Safari is nerve-wracking. I downloaded Google Chrome just because I'm like, okay, I need a faster way. Otherwise, I'm going to be extremely late. So I downloaded Chrome and I started doing it. And that's the one thing I can say about iOS. If you don't like their products, they're not opposed to an alternative. Like, go ahead and use Chrome if you want to. Just use it on our device.
I don't think anybody uses actual Safari. I think we all use the app. You know, we'll find an app that meets the need that we're trying to find. Like, I won't go to Pizza Hut on Safari. I'll just download the app and order my pizza Hut app. You know,
they actually took all the Pizza Huts out of our city for some reason. Still trying to figure out why.
They started making a Detroit style pizza. I'm from Chicago, so that was exciting to me. And it was one of the worst pizzas I've had. No. I just sent all the girls off to the bathroom, so. 640. 640. There you are. Hey, nope. There it is.
Hi, everybody. Jason from Inspiration.
Boom. And there's our Twitter promotion. I love copy and paste, Jay. It's one of the most amazing things.
That's what I do for every hashtag for all the videos I do. I have a little note document with all the hashtags that I normally use,
Right.
because otherwise I would have quit a long time ago, because I didn't realize like there's so many like sides of blind TikTok. Like there's a legally blind hashtag, which has a specific set of creators that are found in it. There's Blind Talk, which has its own set of creators found in it. It has Blind Creator, which has its own. I'm like, if everybody's using all the same hashtags, why can't I find myself? Like, I can't find not one video of myself in just like the hashtag blind at all. There's barely any blind create. Like, you'll see more blind reacts in those hashtags than you'll actually see like actual blind creators.
I gotcha.
Now, once upon a time, I used to know how to work Zoom. Let me see.
What do you need?
So I'm trying to switch it from just current speaker to like the grid that shows everybody.
Okay.
And I'm trying to figure out. Okay, no, that's just showing who's all here. So Shy's here. She's just really, really quiet.
Mute my audio.
Hello.
Hey, Shy.
Everybody.
Hi.
Hi, everybody.
What's up?
Not much. Trying to figure out how Zoom works on iOS and just how Zoom works, period.
Are you on your
Oh,
or a computer?
I'm on my iPad at the moment. Got it. There it is.
Swipe. Oh, you found it?
Found it. It's
Okay.
not where it normally is. Okay. That's wonderful.
Also, at least on the phones, you can just swipe and it'll change from speaker to grid.
See,
That's
we'll
right.
see.
Yeah.
No, mine just went like so. Like it just like I swiped it. It was just like, yeah, that's nice.
Maybe it's on the phones only and not the iPad. I don't know. I don't have an iPad anymore. My iPad's old. Need a new one.
My iPad's currently an experiment. This is my iOS experiment. If I like it, then I'm gonna probably switch. If not, then no. So we'll see.
Getting used to. It's like anything. You're learning something new.
Yes, but I like learning new things fast. This is like pull your hair out. Why? Why me?
Because you're fighting it.
It's not. It's oh my god. If y'all would just give us seeing AI, I would have no problems.
We have seen.
Just,
Oh
no,
give it
you
to
guys have seen AI. They gave us Envision AI, which is something they charge us for a month. And I'm
Wow,
like,
really?
that,
You're
yeah.
lying.
No, it's a month. I think it's like $14 or $19 a month. So
so
they're like,
rude.
and I'm just like, y'all knew what y'all were doing. And then the worst thing is that Apple doesn't even make CAI. Microsoft does. So it's completely up to Microsoft who they give it to. And I'm just like, okay, Microsoft, there's at least two platforms. You're only giving it to one. Somebody just jumped in.
It's me.
Caitlin.
Hey,
I'm
Kate.
here. Hey.
Hey, Queen.
I feel weird without my hat. Hold on one second.
Oh God, am I in? I can never tell.
You're fine.
You are in.
Blind people problems.
I posted a TikTok and forgot to tag everyone, but you can't edit captions on TikTok. It's very annoying. Why can't you edit captions? I'd have to delete the video and repost it if I wanted to edit the caption. That's
No,
stupid.
no. Just hit
Trust.
the three dots above to the right top of the post and edit post.
Oh, they added that? Because you couldn't. Is that new?
Yep. Just edit. I don't know.
Am I crooked?
But I'm on an iPad as well. So
Oh, I guess there's gonna be a background now, so it doesn't really matter as long as I'm straight, right?
Jay, there he is. Let's see. How did I send it last time?
Okay. Vibes, you guys, vibes.
Bye.
Jay, we're excited, man.
So hyped.
I'm scared. So
You should be. Just kidding.
We're gonna grill you.
He's like the daddy of TikTok. I've been trying to figure it out. Is he the man? Kind of. He's a man. He's the man everybody on TikTok blind considers the man, like the father.
I don't understand why.
Like the daddy.
Father, because I'm old. Yeah, I understand that part. Like old, totally understand that. But
Because you're responsible. You're a family man. Because you love and respect people. That's why.
My child is currently knocking at the door right now, trying to get into the room. I wouldn't consider myself that because if she gets into this room, if my oldest gets into this room, all she's going to want to do is either try to get my attention by jumping on my back and using me as a jungle gym, or notice that she doesn't get my attention, so she's going to try to mess with everything in the room that she knows she's not supposed to touch. So,
Sounds like a kid.
Yeah, just so you know, they don't like I still do that to my dad, so they don't grow out of it. So
I've heard.
So yeah, good luck. And my dad had 4 of us.
See, we're done. 2 is enough. 2 is enough.
More than enough.
When you're sleep deprived, you can really make final decisions about how many kids you want to have. Because everybody says that they want, a large number of kids. Like, I can't wait to have 4 or 6. You have the first one, and then you don't sleep for like 2 to 3 months. And you're like, you know what? 1 is good. 1 is really good.
I'm still waiting for my god sister. My god sister wants 4 munchkins, and I still think she's a psychopath. And she's wanted 4 since she was like an early teenager. Like she made that years ago.
Has she had the first one yet?
Just had her first one. He's like, well, not just. He's like almost 2, and she was already talking about the second one like 3-4 months after he was born, and I was like, "You're an insane person."
That's called torture.
I don't understand. She's got issues. I don't get it.
My brother actually did the same thing. He had his back to back, which you don't sleep for like 2 years. And once you get past those like 2 years, you're like golden because like they play with each other. Like they're like right behind each other. They understand each other. They grow up together. Like my 2 have about a 5.5 year split.
I think that's
like
though.
Trust me. Think about it like this. How old do you want to be when the last one leaves the house?
I mean, that all depends on when you had them.
Yeah, younger than I am right now, that's for sure.
See, my thing is like I'm done because I don't want to, because it would probably be another 2 years or so before I had the next one. My motto is I don't want by the time the kids are ready to leave the home, I don't want to be getting ready to get put in one.
Home.
Yeah. So like I'm done. Like I want to be old enough so that when my kids are like 20, 21, I can still go places with them and do things with them and not be like on a cane and another cane at the same time. No.
Yeah. Right. I want to be like my mom. My mom just turned 50 last year, and I'm 24. My sister's 18. Like I think that's perfect.
See,
like, she's still spry and young and living life. And my sister's about to go to college, and I'm grown. Like I feel like that's good.
That's decent. That's a good place to be. I'm sorry. Yeah. You said 50 and 24. So roughly, you had the first one somewhere around 23. Yeah, I'm gonna miss that by about 10 years. I had my first when I was 31. So when the time Stella turns 18, I'm terrible at math, and I just put myself in a position where I have to answer this. Oh God, I'll be somewhere in my 50s. So
yeah, I feel like that's fine now.
Welcome to the live stream where blind people attempt to do math.
Is that Jay?
What's going on? What's going on, Britt?
Hey, finally got you to talk, man. What's up?
Yeah.
I'm excited. I want to hear his story without having to scroll through videos to do it. You know what I mean? Whenever I see a part 9 of something, I'm like, I want that person on the podcast. Let's just give them 15 minutes to tell their story.
TikTok is according to the rumors, TikTok's trying to do that. Like give you 3-minute videos. I just don't think that's going to be successful for like TikTok has already trained you to have a 15-second like attention span.
Right.
Yes.
And now you're going to give people 3 minutes to tell a story. And then people are still going to take 4 or 5 parts to still tell one whole story. So it's just like now you're watching 15 minutes of one story.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah. Or you can put on our podcast and just do everything else while you're listening. Because
true.
we are an amazing audio for the blind alternative. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
It's true.
I feel like they would have to put in a fast forward feature for that because I'm definitely skipping to the main part.
Yeah.
I'm not about to sit there for 3 minutes. People's views are gonna go down so crazy.
Oh, I know they will. Yeah.
I remember me, Shy, and Kai were in Discord. We were talking about how people do the story times, and then you get to the final part, and it's like a complete letdown. Like the entire story is like, and the worst part was, stay tuned for part 11. And
Don't you hate that?
It's just like, then I fell asleep.
Yeah.
And that was the whole story, guys. Thanks for sticking around. You're just like, I watched 11 parts for this. I just watched 11 parts to find out you just fell asleep. Great. Thanks.
My problem is I log in and it's like, here's part 11. And I'm like, wait, what?
What?
And I'm trying to,
What did I
where's
miss?
part 1?
Yeah.
You know?
Right.
TikTok is famous for that.
Yeah.
TikTok is famous for that. They will blow up one part in the middle, but the story was told like 6 months ago. So you have to go through like 100 TikToks to find where that story actually is.
Right.
Wow.
Or I hate the ones who like they'll post one part and then wait a week to post the other part.
Oh my God. Yes.
Like I don't even care about your story anymore. Just forget it.
Right.
Have y'all seen the guys that are like, we'll tell you this story so you don't have to watch all whatever parts of it, and we'll tell it to you in 60 seconds. And then they go and they just break it all down for you in 60 seconds. And you're like, now you don't have to go follow them. Just keep following us and we'll cut the story as short as we can for you.
No,
Please send them to me.
Yes, I
Send them
follow
to
all
me.
those type of, I will. Next time they come up, I'll tag you guys. Yes.
Okay,
that
thank
is
you. Appreciate that.
Yep. And then
That
there's these
is
other guys
great.
that are like, we're testing TikTok trends so you don't have to see if they're real or not.
Yes.
Yeah, I've seen
Right.
them. I've seen them.
Yes.
Factor cap.
Yes.
It's
Factor
called.
cap.
Mhm.
Yep.
But my question is, why would I believe them if I didn't believe the first person? They're just another person on TikTok, you know? Maybe I need to test the testers.
Right.
Now,
There
that
has
can
been
actually be a TikTok.
situations.
It's like,
There has been situations where people be like the factor cap guys. They're like, you said it was a cap, but I did it myself and it worked. So y'all are lying. I've seen a couple of those.
oh,
I did try the
Yeah.
peanut butter one where you spin the peanut butter to get it to come to the top. It did not
Did it
work
work?
for me. No, not at all.
spin the peanut butter.
Yeah,
What?
if you have a half a jar of peanut butter and you spin it, it's supposed to
Mhm.
all centrifugally go to the top.
It's supposed to look like a brand new bottle.
Yeah, it didn't work for me. And I spun that thing on the floor for like 5 minutes.
You mean? See, I have a half done jar of peanut butter.
He's like, I should try it.
He's like,
But the
okay,
conclusion
I
of
know
this
what I'm gonna
podcast, we should know whether this works or not.
I love it. I should tell everybody, hey, welcome to Inspirations Beyond Disabilities. We are a blind discussion podcast right now, but who knows what will be in the future. We're here with our guest, Jay, blind baritone on TikTok. If you want to look up any of the people on the screen right now, just go to the description portion of the live feed and their TikTok links are right there. And I don't know if we need to do the go around the room and say our conditions, you know what I mean? I don't know if we need to do that anymore, but I do know Jay started his TikTok story with his blindness. So I would like to ask him what his condition is.
My condition is retinitis pigmentosa. I was diagnosed when I was 3 years old. My mom tells me the story that I was playing with a ball when I was younger and I dropped it. And it was right in front of my face, but I couldn't find it. And she noticed that I was looking around, like trying to find where the ball was. And I couldn't find it. And she got concerned. So they took me to Will's Eye in downtown Philadelphia. And I was diagnosed then. And it's been an interesting ride ever since, both for the good and for the bad.
Good. I'm glad you see the positives in it.
Yeah.
I want to introduce our hosts. We have Caitlin, of course, and we have Shy, and we have Brittany. And I'm just going to ask Shy to kick it off and start with some questions.
Okay. Hey, I get to be first. So, Jay, we got kindred eyes, I guess, because I also have RP, which I
Yeah.
think you know. And I guess my question, because RP, if you don't know, listeners, is a disease that is kind of different for everyone who has it, and it's degenerative, which means your vision is getting worse, but
Yeah.
happens at a different speed for everyone. So mine was insanely slow. It didn't change at all until I was 17. And now it's changing very slowly. I'm grateful that it's slow, but I wanted to know what kind of pace your RP moved at. And I guess just more on that.
So I've always described my vision change as like if you're sitting in a theater or like a concert hall and they have those giant curtains that you can pull open and close.
Mm-hmm.
It's like a curtain that's like slowly closing.
Mm-hmm.
And for many years for mine, there wasn't a whole lot of change. Like mine was the invisible disability for me for a very long time. The only time you would notice, or the only time I would have to tell people, is when I walked into things too many times. Like, because you only had three options at that point. Either this kid is drunk, he's high, or something else is going on. Now we have to explain to people, after you walk into something so many times, it's just like, okay, guys, listen, this is what's going on. Like, it's that I'm not on anything. I just can't see what's in front of me. So for a very long time, I didn't need a cane. I didn't need, nighttime vision was always a no-go for me. Like just going out at night was just never a thing.
Mm-hmm.
But for the most part during the day, I would travel on my own. I would go to the store on my own. I would do a lot of things just by myself, and I would miss a thing here or there, trip over some things here and there. But for the most part, I was good. In 2014, not so long after I got married, things started to change a little bit. My eyes started to get, my vision started to dim a little more. I started getting a lot of blurry vision, but the blurry vision would be like occasional. So like it would be like blurry some days, clear a lot of other days, but like on those blurry days, a lot of panic went ensue because I didn't know what was about to happen. In 2016, the blurry days started happening a lot more to where they've become pretty much consistently daily now. Where now it's getting dimmer. And the way I try to describe it to someone who does not have RP or really know about like visual impairment is, I don't know if you've ever done this, but if you've ever put on a prescription pair of glasses that are not for you, it like blurs everything really badly. Now put a pair of sunglasses on over top of that. And you're pretty much dealing with what I deal with on a daily basis. Very blurry, very dim vision. It's hard to see a lot of what's going on around me. I'm to a point now where I have to rely on people a lot more than I used to in my life. And that's something that I'm still adjusting to because I'm a person that likes to be independent. I don't like to have to need other people if I don't. Yeah. I'm learning to accept using a cane because I just started using a cane in like 2018 after enough was enough with like scary stories of scary situations that I put myself in because my ego wouldn't let me use a cane.
Right.
So I just started using a cane. Like I've had mobility training before, I've had cane training before, but I would take the basics of certain parts of cane training and I would incorporate it like without using a cane, like trying to find the edge of a step. I would use my foot instead of a cane. Trying to like feel my way around a dark room. I would have like an umbrella or I'd have like my hand like out in front of me just a little bit.
Anything but a cane.
Like, anything but a cane.
Because you thought you looked more ridiculous with the cane than just feeling around.
And that's the logic of this. That's the logic of this. It's just like, I don't want to. It like I watched an episode you guys were talking about like the things you trip over and fall when you have like in public, like in restaurants and things like that. For me now, when I trip and fall into things, I feel a lot better now having the cane because everybody can go, oh, he couldn't see that. That's fine.
Yeah.
If you don't have a cane and you just like,
like a crazy person,
smack into a table and knock it over because the thing that's bad about me is not only am I blind, but I'm fat. So it's just like when I hit things, it's like hitting things with force,
Yeah.
and people are just looking like, "What's wrong with that guy?" Like,
Yeah.
so it's a little easier now. Like the maneuvering with the cane now is more easy for me to accept, having had my pride and my ego taken down like several thousand pegs,
Yeah.
running into things without it. So
That's kind of brings me to my question, not to dismiss anybody else, sorry, but I did want to know how blindness affected your manhood. You know what I mean? Just the
yeah,
pride, the ego of being the caretaker, the man. Like, how do you adjust to that?
You know, it's funny. I was going to make a video about that on Saturday because I was thinking about that. It's challenging in two ways. First, as a man. Secondly, as a father, and as a husband, realistically, because as a man, depending on where you live, especially, people want to test their toughness or
Yep.
whatever they want to call it, to see how manly they are, and they want to test it against anybody that looks like, okay, well, he's young enough to challenge. And then when they see you with a cane, it's almost like easy target. Like, let's try this guy. Let's see if this guy will, run, or what the reaction will be. Because some people find it funny. It's terrible, but some people find that kind of thing funny. It's challenging to deal with. There are some places where I have just enough vision. Like one time I was coming home with the cane. I was running an errand for my wife, and I was coming down the hill coming back to my house. And a person basically followed me down the hill. I guess they, again, they don't account for ears apparently. I guess they thought they were, trying to be stealthy or whatever. But I heard that, I'm like, this person's entirely too close to me. So stupidly, but like instinctually, I dropped my cane, I turn around, and I spread my arms. And they look surprised, like, oh, you knew I was there. And they like turn around and went the other way. Now, had that thing gone any further, it would have been a bad situation for me. But just like that was the only thing I could think to do, because it's like when I'm coming down the hill, like for me, I'm no longer thinking about me anymore. I'm thinking about this person that's following me home, and my wife and my daughter are there.
Yeah.
So it's just like at this point, I have to take that risk. As a husband, as a father, sometimes it's a bit challenging, especially when you're dealing with like your children and you go to certain places and they look at you like, oh, your wife not only has to take care of the kids, but they have to take care of you too. And it's just like, no, I take care of myself. Thank you very much. Like, I'm capable of handling myself. Like I find myself subconsciously, well, now it's not even subconsciously anymore, because I realize I'm doing it now. I wear a lot of like my college alumni shirts and my graduate school alumni shirts whenever I go places, to like show people like, hey, like I'm capable, I'm competent. But it's just like people really, when they see the disability, they automatically assume you can't take care of yourself, you're not capable, and basically you're just a crutch. Like you're leaning on your significant other as a crutch, and it's hard to deal with sometimes. Like as a man, it's challenging to deal with.
Thank you. I really appreciate the honesty there. How about Brittany? What do you got?
So first off, congratulations on a new baby.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
And second, I asked you on TikTok already, but can I smell her? Look, baby smells so good.
As much as she poops, you don't want to. Trust me, you don't want to. That child came out with grown woman poops the day she was born. Nope.
Wow.
Oh yeah.
Wow.
But on a more serious note though, so you're into music, you're a producer.
Nice.
Tell us more about that.
So
like how did you get into it?
For a long time I've played piano, not really good, but good enough. And I had a friend in college who because I've always had like music in my head. Like I can always hear like breakdowns of music, how instrumentation should go. But I just never, I knew I was never going to learn enough instruments to be able to like do it manually. And I had a friend in college who used a program called FL Studio, which a lot of like people who are into hip hop, they use to like make music or whatever. And I would see him use like different instruments, and I'm like, oh, that's cool. Like, how do you do that? And he kept
Mhm.
trying to explain to me FL Studio, and I couldn't get it for the life of me. Like it just, you might as well have just been speaking a whole different language to me. And then I found a different program years later, and I learned how to kind of use it. And now I try to the best of my ability to put music together, because I like that. Like I would love to be able to. I'm a person with entirely too many dreams, and I have no idea like how to accomplish them all at once.
Mhm.
But like I would love to be able to compose music for television and for film. And like I love that big orchestral sound. I would love to be able to make that happen. Which a lot of people do with those kind of programs. It's just, is it good enough? Is what I do good enough to be able to be on television? I was told once by a person who actually was in television, like they wanted to use one of my songs for a television show. And I'm just like, cool. And then I never heard from them again. And that kind of like, it inspired me to keep going. But at the same time, it's just like, I wish that would have happened, because I want to know, like, it would be cool to have somebody, a visually impaired or legally blind creator, like in that space representing well. And there's a few musicians like Shy, I know you're one, Kai, I know is one, Nisha's one. Like there's so many like musically inclined creators, which again is awesome, but also probably doesn't help the whole Ray Charles, Stevie Wonder stereotype.
Right.
So there's so many of us, and I would love to see like us on a larger platform doing that kind of thing.
Who has
just
better,
inspiring.
Who has better ears than blind people, right?
You would think so, right? But
and now that you have an iPad, I suggest you look up GarageBand.
Oh God!
If you listen to any commercial on TV, all the music seems to be GarageBand music, and it's 2 tracks. You just get 2 loops, put them together, and sell it to organic tea company. You know what I mean? So you can do it.
So if I could expand on the music thing a little bit, I went to school for music. I haven't finished my degree. That's a whole nother story. But that's what I study. And so I was wondering what program that you did end up learning, because I pretty much know all of them at this point.
I did. I work with Mixcraft Pro Studio. That one was like the easiest, because I went from FL Studio and that being a failure. Everybody was like, you should use Pro Tools. Like Pro Tools is the standard. And I went to Pro Tools and it was just like, oh no. Like this thing is entirely too complicated.
Yeah.
Oh no.
I thought the same thing.
Yes, that is the soundtrack for trying to learn Pro Tools from the beginning. If you are not like near someone who already knows it, forget it.
Right.
Mixcraft came with a bunch of like installed instruments. Now, a lot of them are terrible sounding, but they came with a lot of like instruments that you can kind of like get your feet wet and learn. And that's kind of the program that I use now. But I'm trying to take Mixcraft, and I'm also trying to learn Ableton Live for like live stuff.
Nice. That's good.
But I'm also the person that like, because again, the good thing and the bad thing about, being able to hear is the quality of instruments may sound okay to some, and it may sound like fine and workable for some, but for me, a lot of like free instruments or low budget instruments sound terrible.
Yeah.
They sound absolutely terrible. So like the ones I want to use are like super expensive. So it's just a matter of like trying to get the money to get like the pro grade instruments, because a lot of the pro grade ones, like, my God, they sound fantastic. Like they sound absolutely fantastic.
So that's where Jason is right in suggesting GarageBand, because GarageBand is like the free version of Logic, which is Apple, Apple's DAW. And you can use it on your iPad, but the thing about GarageBand is all their MIDI tracks, which are these instruments, are all sampled of actual instruments, so they all sound good and real.
Right.
But I'll have to compare. I'll have to compare them.
Yeah.
There's some. If you ever look up like orchestrally. There's a I'm sorry. Oh, it's called semi-samples.
Mm-hmm.
They are, if you ever look at their instruments and how they sound, like they even make it so where you can model like an actual like, those like choirs.
Yeah.
You could actually like model a choir and make it sound like it's so ridiculously good how it sounds.
Yeah.
And like once you hear that, it's kind of hard to go back to like anything else.
Mm-hmm.
But it's also costs like $3,000 to get like their whole bundle. So
Which is a negative.
yeah.
But that's why I'm suggesting GarageBand, because it's as real as it gets without paying money and without actually sampling the instruments yourselves. And I've been in playing, I play flute. I've played in symphonic bands all throughout middle school, high school, college. My boyfriend is a saxophone player who plays, clarinet. Like I've been around all these instruments for more than half of my life. So I'm 100% extremely familiar with their actual sounds, and GarageBand's pretty darn close.
Okay. I have to check out another Apple product. Got it.
Caitlin, you got a question?
I do. I didn't want to interrupt. So I'm kind of gonna bounce off what Jason asked earlier, just kind of like pride, ego, especially as like a man, because I know I had a hard time with that. But everybody has their turning point. So something obviously inspired you to start kind of telling your story and put your videos on TikTok, because it seems like you do have a lot of confidence. But I just want to know what kind of inspired you to actually put it all out there. Or like, what was the big turning point for you where you're like, okay, my pride, my ego, it's not even as important as this, and this.
So with TikTok, I always tell the story because I never intended to download TikTok like ever in my life.
Right.
Me either.
I
Same.
think that's everybody's story. Like TikTok must feel so insulted every time somebody says, like, I never wanted this app.
They need to thank COVID for that.
Really do.
Yes, if it
For
wasn't
real.
for the pandemic, a lot of creators would not be here, right? But my wife downloaded the app and she was listening to, she would watch a few videos from a few people, and I would be in the room with her and I would find a few of them funny. Bimo the Prince was one she would watch like all the time, and I'm just like, okay, I got to see if they've got like my kind of humor on there or like stuff that I would like, because all I knew of TikTok was that stupid dance app. Like if you can't dance,
Right.
There's no point to be going, yeah. I'm just like, all right, well, apparently this guy's not dancing, so let's see if there's anybody else on here not dancing. So downloaded the app, got on the app, found a few people that I liked, and then for some reason, I don't know if I like searched it or if how you look up something in a different app and all of a sudden like Facebook or whatever, be like, oh, so you want to look at stuff like that.
Yes.
So,
it's listening. It's always listening.
Algorithm.
Yes. And this is probably the one time where I'm not mad that the algorithm was listening, because the first person that I came across in Blind Talk was Blind Kitchen Lady. She was the first one I came across.
Yeah.
And then I came across Blind Press, and then Brittany, and then Haley, and then Lucy. And I'm just like, okay, so all of these people are kind of like sharing their stories. And I'm like, okay, let me go look in the comment section. And I went to go look in the comment section, and I don't know if I just found like the right videos, but like all the comments were just like positive. Like people were just, thanks for sharing your story. Oh, that's cool. Oh, that's great. Thanks for like talking about that. And I'm like, okay, that's fantastic. And then something was like, you know what? You should probably get on here and do your thing. And I'm like, no. And I talked to my wife because my wife knows I've always wanted to do like content creation in some way, shape, or form. I was going to do YouTube for a long time. And it was just like, I don't feel like doing YouTube because YouTube kind of seems like it has moments where it supports small creators, and then it has moments where it's just like, forget the small creator altogether. And my wife was like, you should go for it. Like, if you want to do it, do it. Like, put yourself out there. What's the worst that happens? Nobody watches. I'm like, yes, that's the worst that can happen. Like, nobody watches.
Right.
So she's like, just put yourself out there. Like, you can do it. You've got the confidence. Just, if you're going to do it all the way. I'm like, all right, fine. So I put myself out there. I start sharing. I think my first video was just me trying to make a little introduction of what my channel was supposed to be about, which It's not anymore. It's not even remotely close to what I thought it was going to be about. And then I started to share my RP story, like what happened and some of those things. And I started to notice the next day I would have like 100 and 200 views. I'm like, 200 people are watching this video. Like, who's paying attention to this? Like, and then like it's, you know, there's no music in the background. It's just me sitting in my living room at night, like just talking. And I'm like, somebody, and they're all like a minute each. And I'm like, no one's scrolling like past this thing. Like either they're watching the whole thing and I've got people like commenting. And as like I'm making videos, I'm like, I'm getting more comfortable. And then one of the things I found, and that's one of the things I try to tell people, because I get people who inbox me like, I don't know what to do. Like, I don't know if I'm going to feel comfortable. I'm like, you're not the first video. The first video, you're not going to feel comfortable. Because you gotta get used to talking to a phone that's going to not talk to you back. Like once you get used to that, once you get comfortable and find who you are, then you'll get, it'll become a lot easier and your content will begin to flow, and then you'll experiment with things, and some things will hit and some things will miss, but you know, you're putting your creativity out there.
Right. It's almost like therapy, because you got to get it out. Like, right. You got to like talk about it. You got to get it out. It's like, I'll just put it in a video. And it's so crazy that like the stuff that you were so scared to post or say are those are the ones with the most views, the most comments. Right. These people, they see the authentic, like they see how genuine you are. They see, like all of it. And they're like, wow. And they want to hear more. Like it draws people in.
Kate, it's exactly like therapy. I'll tell you what. Another reason is because some of the series embarrassing stories for me, a lot of those were intrusive thoughts, like just things that would like bother me about like, oh my God, I can't believe that happened to me. Like, why was I that dumb? Like, why did that happen? And I just started putting them out there. And then the thing is like you start to learn, one of the best things you can learn on TikTok, it's not just you.
Yeah, you're not alone.
You're not alone.
To you. And when you start to realize, like, that's why I love our community so much, because when you start to realize it's not just you anymore, it starts to make you more comfortable with who you are as a person.
And it's like people are looking up to you. They look at your,
good people are,
right. Yeah.
That's what's amazing. I just want to break in for a minute and say, the blind kitchen lady, hi, thank you for joining us. She said hugs for all. And we got everyday scenario. He's saying, yo,
that's
Jay.
My younger brother. That's my younger brother, y'all. That's
hey, little brother.
He's one of us.
Hey, Jay, brother.
He's one of us.
And we got Don Ebanks is also joining us. So hey, everybody, thank you for watching.
Hey.
Really appreciate it. We're here with Jay, or blind baritone from TikTok.
The baritone blurred.
Yes, and so I just love. Thank you for that. I'm really happy having you here. I have a great question for you, and I'm just going to throw you off. What I've been looking for is blind role models in comics, right? Because Daredevil can't be the only one, right?
Oh,
but I was stretching. I know you're a DC guy, right? But I want to ask about a Marvel character and ask if you would consider him as visually challenged, and that is Cyclops from the X-Men.
That's a good question. With the challenges he has to deal with, I mean, realistically, he can't open his eyes.
Right. Thank you.
That's going to bring a lot of challenges to your life. Even if you have 20/20 vision, you permanently can't open your eyes because dimension that shoots optic blasts are going to come out of your face and eviscerate everyone in front of you. Like I mean, you definitely qualify for some Social Security at that point.
But I have a question though about Cyclops, because and I think I asked this last time, but I didn't get an actual, because I don't think any of us know, but maybe you know. I was under the impression growing up that as long as he had his goggles on, he could open his eyes. That's what I always thought. If he took the goggles off, he had to keep his eyes closed or it was going to be a problem. But I always thought that as long as he had the weird goggle thing on, he was...
I've seen it written two ways. I've seen it like the glasses are basically just to make, I guess, society more comfortable with. Like the visor is just part of his suit. It can control the amount of beams that come out of his eyes. Now I know without the Now, I don't know if they were trying to stereotype this, but I know without the visor, he has to wear sunglasses, which, nowadays it's just like, like, why did y'all have to write that? But,
All right.
but
It's part of his uniform, like your
yes,
uniform.
unfortunately, it's part of the uniform. But it's one of those things. I think without him, like if he loses those glasses, he's completely out of luck. Like he is completely out of luck. I don't think they really control his. I think it's just about the amount of energy that comes out of his eyes with the visor, because if he turns it up, like I've seen cartoons where like he can turn the side of his visor and like the beam just like goes from like a narrow shot to like a very wide dispersed shot. So I thought that was the reason for the visor, but I'm not sure, and that's sad because he's actually my favorite X-Men, so I'm not even sure.
Right. On that because I need to know if he can open his eyes with the visor because he doesn't use a cane or anything.
No, he doesn't. But then again, his girlfriend is like a telepath who can read his mind and like tell him where to go.
That's true.
I suppose that's true.
True.
Way to dismiss a struggle, Marvel.
But we still have Daredevil. Sadly, we still have Daredevil.
Ben Affleck.
I'm so sick of hearing the Daredevil joke. Like, oh, Daredevil. Like,
both.
I had a kid ask me once if there was a sword in my cane.
They actually make swords for canes.
I was getting ready to say that they actually make canes that have swords in them.
Yep, I got mine.
They
in back
do?
order.
I feel like that'd be so heavy.
Yes.
It's back order, Jason.
Yep.
Back order.
But it's not for
got
our
me
style
one.
of cane. It's for like the actual like walking cane.
Yeah.
Where like the handle at the top pulls out and you've got a sword. Now, what are you going to do with a sword in 2021 is beyond me.
Stand in front of my Publix and say, "Give me the vaccine."
Yeah.
I'm a woman, I'll be walking with that thing out in the middle of the night. Don't
I was gonna say self-defense, I guess. It's like carrying a pocket knife or something, but
I mean, but bring a knife to a gunfight?
Yeah, that's the concern I have.
The gun. It's a no.
Man. My friend took me target practicing with his new gun. I missed every single time.
Now, me and another creator tell you, Dave, we were joking on a live once about going to the gun range and just learning how to shoot. Like if they made gun like training for the blind, that would be
they
incredible.
do. They
actually
do.
Yeah.
You legally, yes, blind people are legally allowed to have their their gun, license, the whole nine. Yes.
I'm part of a blind gun owners group on Facebook.
Cool.
I've been thinking about getting one.
How do we connect it to, because I need that. Like I need
you want to be a part of the group on Facebook?
Yes.
Okay, I'll make sure I send you an invite as soon as I figure out how to do it.
Yeah.
I got you. Part of that. I am all for that.
There's down the street from my house, but I've never gone.
I've gone. I have shot. Well, so my major in college was criminal justice, and I went to the gun range, but I was sighted then. I don't know what it would be like blind trying to shoot a gun. So
that was actually my major in undergraduate too.
Yeah, me too. Me too.
I just want to get the gun. I want to be able to say I have the right to carry one, and I'm blind.
Right.
I really think about it though. Like how many? Like we're probably singled out if we're out in public, especially if we're by ourselves. It's late, whatever. And people are like, "Oh, they have a cane. They're blind. I'm going to stalk them. I'm going to follow them."
Exactly.
And even like,
that's why I want a gun.
Right. And like, they're not expecting that. Like you have defense on you. You don't have to shoot them, but like they'll run away if they see that you have a gun.
Yeah. At least as a deterrent. Yeah.
I'm not gonna.
Well,
me living in Baltimore City, being a woman, a blind woman at that, I definitely need one.
Yes.
Yes. I have a class of a baton I painted white and I pretend it's my king.
So I come up and just like,
So hi to Vanessa and hi to Reed and Geek.
Hey, welcome.
Hey.
Jay, I was actually going to ask you, you're getting your master's, correct?
Yes, I am.
And let's hear a little bit just about that. I think it's incredible. See, a lot of people think, blind people can't go to college. They can't go to school. How do you do this? How do you do that? But tell us about what you're getting your master's in and what that's like for you.
Yeah.
So I'm getting my master's in clinical mental health counseling with a specialty in trauma and crisis intervention. What that basically means is that I want to be a therapist who works with people on their absolute worst day of their lives. People who've experienced loss, people who've experienced PTSD, people who experience, who have been victims of violent crimes. Because at one point in time, I wanted to be a prosecutor. I wanted to be an attorney, just to learn to work to help those who have been affected by crime. But the problem I've run across is that though a person may be arrested, though a person may be incarcerated, the victim still doesn't really have peace to be able to get back to the way life was before. I had a friend who experienced that. And when they went to get treatment and they went to go get therapy, they started to become more of the person that they used to be. And it was a combination of that. And I had an undergraduate professor tell me about the rigors of what it really takes to be a prosecutor, how much you'd be away from home, how much time you spend away from your family. And that's just not me. I'm not willing to put in 80-hour weeks being away from my family to work on a case. That's just not my style. So I want to help the victims of those kind of crimes. And I think the best way to do that is to work in a therapeutic setting. There are entirely too many mental health systems that aren't focused on trauma that much. That I want to be one of those, especially in like lower income neighborhoods, because there are not a lot of therapists who seem to really care about those experiences. So I want to do that. That makes it doing school. I go to Walton University, so I do my schooling online, which has its ups and its downs. One of the major ups for me, though, is using textbooks is a totally different thing, because a lot of your textbooks are digital. You can get all of your textbooks electronically, which means you can have it. The program they use is called Bookshelf, and it has a text-to-speech feature where it reads the textbook to you. And graduate school is a ton of reading.
So much reading.
It is, for one class, you can read about 200 to 300 pages per class per week. So you can be, and that does not include, exams. That does not include assignments that you have to turn in. So fortunately, because everything is electronic, everything is digital, I can have it all read through. That makes schooling so much easier. So for anybody that's considering undergraduate or graduate school, excuse me, I don't know why I feel like my throat is just doing a thing right now. So if anybody's considering like graduate school or undergraduate school, I would consider going to school online, but make sure you talk to that school success or disability office to make sure that they will have your back 100%, because if they do, you have a great chance of graduating and being able to do well.
So to expand on that, you were saying that you switched because you felt like you would be more of a help. So that is also why I switched my major, and I switched it to nursing because I feel like I could just be more of a help that way.
So are you still in nursing now?
No, when I lost my sight, I kind of just gave up on that dream.
But she has many, many others now. And you and Shai actually have something in common now that I wanted to touch on, because I love this about it. She attended her first NFB meeting.
I did.
Yay!
How did that go?
Okay, so it was really interesting. So all the meetings are taking place on Zoom because of the virus. So they sent me my, the Zoom code, and I logged on. It was a Saturday morning, and they're all the people who attend in my chapter are on the older side. I was the youngest person in the room.
Get used to that.
Right. I was going to say it's a lot of that.
Yeah, I know. It's fine. The Lighthouse was like that too when I wasn't in team program things. Like now I've aged out of the teen program, so the lighthouse is like that. When I
Mhm.
go to the lighthouse, it's just older people now. But
But there are a lot of young people that you meet along the way. But go ahead.
yeah,
Yeah,
exactly. But it was really nice. It was super informative. They were all really sweet to me. They made me talk about myself, which was interesting. And they were super sweet. It was like having a whole bunch of like aunts and uncles that like wanted
Yeah.
about me and stuff. They were all really nice, and I definitely plan on going again. But I learned
enough.
about some of the stuff that NFB is doing with like their Washington, like the things that they're trying to get passed and stuff.
Mhm.
It's just really cool.
Yeah.
That's
That's
something.
why I like going. It's real informative.
That's something
Mhm.
I've been pondering doing for a while. Just trying to get involved with
You
the
should.
NFB.
I need
Because
to
I've
as well.
I've
Yeah,
heard
you
about-
guys definitely should, because it's like it's informative. It keeps you informed on what's going on in the Blind community. If you need help, they're there. Like it's really good. It's a good thing. I advise everyone to at least try. Like go to one. You know.
Right.
Right.
Especially now that they're on Zoom, you don't have to be there face to face.
Yes.
You don't have
Right.
to- None of the awkward stuff where you're trying to find a seat, you know?
Mhm.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, being a member of the Baltimore chapter, like at the headquarter building, like they have this big auditorium room with
Oh.
like the seats that are kind of like movie theater style.
Mhm.
Yeah, that's fun.
Yeah. Trying to find
That
a
is
seat.
just fun. Yeah.
Yeah, I also decided to do their free cane program. So because I know
Right.
that Brittany talked about how straight canes are better, and
Right.
I didn't want to buy one.
Listen, it's my preference.
I
I
know, but
cannot use a
try
straight cane to save my life. No.
I never used it.
I can't use a collapsible to save my life. So
Really?
I can't. I be tripping. I miss stuff. I need a straight cane.
Right.
I don't know.
You're sensing everything in the cane, and that cord
Yeah.
messes you up.
I'm very
Yeah, that cord is absorbing my information, and then I missed something because I didn't feel it.
Right.
Hmm.
Yeah.
the free cane program. They send you a straight cane. So
Mhm.
I decided to
And
do
what-
it that way.
Don't they do it? What is it? It's once a year or something.
Months it's set on the website.
That's neat,
I
though.
could have. I haven't looked at the website recently, but 2 years ago, it was every 6 months.
Yeah, I
Mm.
just did it last week, and it said every 6 months they'll send you a new one if you want.
That's beautiful.
Yeah.
Thank you, NFB.
I have like 8 canes from them. I just like to, I hoard canes. They're like spare tires. You just grab another one when you need.
I
Oh
love
my
it.
Too.
God.
Yeah.
Yeah, I bet you.
Like I
funny
have a
though, 'cause
corner in my
I've-
closet just canes.
I've seen all these videos about people getting the customized canes from Ambitech, and I'm just
Right.
like,
I want one.
I know. Have you seen some of them? They have lights. They got.
Yeah. I saw someone in
Wait, they
Vegas.
have
They had
lights?
one that had lights on
Yes.
it.
I have
Yes.
not
Yes.
seen the one with lights.
Yes. I was like,
I
oh
wonder,
my
I wonder if they
God.
have ones that have like diamonds. Like you know me.
You
I
guys-
just want to bedazzle. I tried to
Bedazzle.
bedazzle a cane myself, but like the diamonds kept falling off.
Oh,
So I have to put a little more.
But imagine the lights, because most of us have like the night blindness.
right.
Yes.
Like it would change so much if I had lights for my
Mhm.
cane at night. It
I
would
actually
change
saw
so much.
one.
Just
I
a
saw a
light out
guy
of the
in
bottom
Vegas.
would be great.
Yeah,
See?
like a headlight.
No.
Yeah, so I can see what I just dropped.
Hold
you
on, let me
know?
turn my lights on.
Right?
No.
You're driving without your lights, Caitlin.
That's
Yeah.
right.
That's
The
what
problem, the problem for me would be is the level of sarcasm with that cane, because I would just walk backwards with the lights flashing, going beep.
Wallow.
He's got two and they're
No.
backup lights.
I think they're really cool though. Like I was in Vegas and I saw one guy, like his had like blue and green lights, and like the whole cane lit up like in different light patterns and stuff.
Oh, that's decent.
It was cool.
Oh, that's decent.
It looked really heavy, but it was cool.
I
For me, go
Oh,
ahead,
go-
Shay. Oh, you're so sweet. No, but I'm just saying with the heavy cane thing, I don't like heavy canes because it feels like after you get home and put it down, it feels like you just did a workout, like an arm day, and I don't have time. I don't have time.
I like a heavy cane, or I feel like I'll lose it.
I-
Go
I
ahead,
think-
Shay.
heavy canes are good for constant contact. If you're a tap user, a heavy cane is a bad idea.
Yeah, I'm definitely a tapper.
Yeah, but I was gonna say, because I've bought 2 canes through Ambutech. I bought a full blue one that I lost on the bus. We're not gonna talk about it.
Oh God,
And-
don't you hate that?
Yeah, it's the worst. And then my black slim cane that's over there is an Ambutech cane. And I bought, I think I've talked about it. I wanted it to be super low profile and everything. But my next cane is going to be red because I want to have all the colors because I want to add them to my outfits like an idiot.
Right.
See, I thought about that.
I feel the same way.
No,
I never thought about that.
I'm going to
There's nothing wrong with that.
buy one in every color. It's just happening in slow motion.
Yes.
It costs money. But
Yeah, I was going to ask about that.
they're not that expensive. So that's what I wanted to talk about.
Oh, they were like $60, aren't they?
No, they're less.
Really?
It obviously depends on material, the type of tip you get, all that jazz. But the most I've ever paid for an Ambutech cane was like $35.
That's doable.
Yeah, and then the where they get you is it's a Canadian company, so you have to pay shipping. So that's
Oh.
I think
That's
it's like
the problem.
Right. We knew there was going to be a problem somewhere.
yeah.
Right.
The canes, I was really impressed with the prices because it's very affordable. It's super affordable. And with my red, I already put the cart together. I just have to press order. I'm gonna actually get one of those lights that clips onto the cane. So I'm gonna let you. I'll do a video on it.
Okay, question. I got a question. So do you think they will bedazzle a cane for me?
No, they don't do that.
You'll have to get to do it myself again.
I will get some 3M adhesive and some glitter, and I will roll that.
No, I feel like the glitter. I don't want glitter everywhere. Like I had went to Walmart and bought a bunch of those little diamonds, and I got some glue and I glued them to the handle. But I think I need a better glue because the glue just like was not holding.
Did you
Like
get
I
the
was
glue
walking.
that I was like, get the glue that the girls use at the nail
No.
salon.
I thought she was about to say something else. I'm like, no.
No, not the Gorilla Glue. The Gorilla Glue.
No.
No, thank you. We don't want no problems with the Gorilla Glue.
I just caught the
But
trail
yeah.
end of that TikTok trend.
Yes. Oh, it was so crazy. But yeah, like I would be using the cane and then like I would like move my hand and like everywhere my hand was, the diamonds were missing. And I was like, okay, this isn't gonna work.
Yeah, definitely. I would try a stronger glue, or they make tape that is shiny that has like glitter or like stuff like that. So that could be
yeah, right now what I do is I have leopard print tape wrapped around my cane.
Yeah. Cute.
Wow.
But yeah, that's really cool. I love them.
Everyday Scenario wants to know if they can make a cane with a taser in it.
What?
I actually think they do. I've heard of one.
What?
Yeah, they did. And
I've heard of that.
he got arrested at the Capitol for it. How about that?
Oh my god.
See,
Oh my god.
see, only my younger brother would ask that question. Like, forget the cane with the sword. Let's get a.
But he
let's get a
wasn't
cane
expecting
with a
that they
taser.
actually do have
Right.
one.
It's called a cattle prod. Go down and get it.
Hey, Jay, you better watch out for your brother. He's gonna go to jail.
Yeah, I know. He's going to trick him with, here's a new cane.
I mean, it's not a bad idea. Don't they have tasers for like cell phone cases now?
Yes, they do. I was
Yeah.
thinking about
Why?
that too.
So then, if you
I
don't
feel like
like,
it's necessary
It's for us, Jay. It's for us.
yeah,
for the
I
women.
guess. Yeah.
For the ladies.
Yeah.
Like all the guys are like, wait a second, what is
And we're like,
happening?
and look, and the women are like, I don't see anything wrong with it.
I don't mind it a bit.
I'm just like, wait. I'm just thinking like if you put a cell phone like in your pocket
Yeah,
and the
right.
I can
case
see
is
me
attached
tasing
to it,
myself.
and you
I can see
accidentally
myself.
have the.
Yeah, I can see myself just tasing the shit out of myself for. I'm so
that's what I'm
clumsy.
thinking. I'm
I
like,
am so clumsy.
Right? Like
Better
you think
than
it's the
coffee.
volume button, and instead it's the taser.
Put it up to your ear and shock yourself. Yeah.
Oh my god.
Man.
They're
talk to-
strong too. Like I had a friend that had one, and I was like, whoa.
I had a
Like-
taser before. Yeah,
Yeah.
I hated carrying it because I was scared of it.
Pepper spray now.
Yeah,
Like
pepper
that.
spray.
pepper spray on me.
I'm scared to carry that too. I'm so clumsy. Y'all don't
My boy-
understand.
It's in like this little leather keychain pouch that he gave
I
me.
had one of those. Quick story time. Speaking of pepper spray, I got pepper sprayed before.
Oh no.
What?
I was on the bus. It's Baltimore City, y'all. Two girls started fighting. One girl got off the bus and she was trying to get the other girl to get off the bus and fight her. So she stuck her hand through the window and pepper sprayed the whole bus. And then my friend was with me. She's totally blind. And I'm not thinking because she's like not really great traveling and stuff. So I usually help her, like we just help each other out. I get up and run off the bus, completely forgot her on the bus. And I had to go back. I was like, oh shit, come on. Like it got her real bad. Like I got the first whiff of it and started coughing and just got up and took off. So, but she was still sitting there. So like she got the whole.
Oh man.
We had to go buy her milk out the store. It was so crazy.
Yeah, that's the only way
Oh
to.
my God.
So I'm traumatized by pepper spray. Like I took my pepper spray off my keychain. I was like, where'd I do this? No, thank you.
I keep that thing with me all the time. I had it clipped.
Actually, the second time I got pepper sprayed.
Ooh.
I know, it's crazy, guys.
Who knew it would be pepper spray story time? I love it.
Yeah, random turn. The first time was in high school. Somebody was just decided to just spray pepper spray in the air.
Wow.
Ugh.
Stupid kid stuff.
We had
Yeah.
that dumb dare of spray it on your tongue, and that was bad enough to watch my
Wow.
friends do, you know?
So I think it's a hard no on the pepper spray for me.
Yeah, no, maybe on the maybe on the salad, but not on the tongue directly, you know. So Jay, you're fat. What kind of food do you like?
I feel like the answer should be everything at this point, but nah. I am well, the correct answer should be I'm trying to eat better because I am trying to eat better. Like I used to weigh 384 pounds. Like I was a big dude. And then I dropped to about 250 just from working out and stuff like that. But during the pregnancy, don't let anybody ever tell you different. Sympathy cravings are a thing. And I went from 250 to about 290. So I'm working my way back down now. So right now the answer is baked chicken, but the real answer is pizza. Like pizza is my favorite food.
Right.
I always say I am 1/3 Ninja Turtle. So pizza, I am golden all day long. Give me pizza, give me Sprite, and give me a good corner, and I'm fine. Like that is my favorite.
Pizza. Pizza's in my top 3 favorite foods.
I don't know. I don't really care. For me, my top favorite is like fried chicken.
Yeah.
Chicken's
Give me a good fried piece of chicken.
Yeah.
It all depends on who makes it. It all depends
exactly.
on who makes it.
You know, it depends.
Because everybody can't fry chicken. That's
one thing
I've
right.
learned.
That's true.
No, I'm talking about like churches, Popeyes. Like I went to Louisiana, you know, they like frying stuff. Oh my God, I was like, I'm gonna be 500 pounds. Like,
trust me.
And
Texas
they put like
is
a little
worse.
bit of spice in it. You know, a little bit of spicy. Shoot.
Texas is way worse. Like I used to live in Texas from like 2009 to about 2016, and their state fair, they fry everything like fried Oreos.
I'm gonna say fried Oreos.
Fried Oreos are so good.
They are good, but I guarantee you will not want to look at a scale once you leave a Texas fair the following day.
Right.
At all. Like whatever you thought you weighed, that's over. That is long over.
Have you had fried butter?
Fried butter?
Have you ever had it?
Wow.
I've
never heard of that.
No, thank you.
No,
No,
thank
I've
you.
never heard of that. Like, how do you
There's
fry
just
butter?
certain things that look like heart attack guaranteed. No.
Yeah,
Have
right.
you seen fried ice cream?
Yes, very good.
I've seen that. I've seen that.
There's also fried cola.
Yes, I've seen
I've
that
never
too.
had that.
And,
It's a journey.
there's a
It's a journey.
there's a restaurant in Texas called the Heart Attack Grill.
Oh
You
God.
have to sign a waiver before you eat there.
That's
because
right.
like the amount
Are you serious?
no, dead serious. There's an amount of like beef that they give you. It's just like that should not be digested by one human being by itself. Like that should not be. I'm interested in challenging it, but no.
Yeah, no, thank you. Let's not die.
Like
Wow.
it's just that kind of crazy. Like Texas loves food. Like I kid you not. Where I lived at, you will find two things on every three corners: a gym and a fast food joint. You will find like
Well, that's
that there
productive.
was a McDonald's, a Checkers, a Pizza Hut, and
Subway,
what's that other one? No, Subway wasn't there. What is that called? Oh my goodness.
not.
Chick-fil-A.
Too
Dickie's Barbecue.
Oh yeah.
Like literally on each side of the street, there was one of them. And then like there was a gym behind it. And then you would go up 3 other blocks and there would be like a Sonic, a Subway, and like
The gym
Texas
is like
loves
in
to
the
eat,
cut
man.
though.
No, the gym is in the cut. Yeah,
Right.
they'll have to find it. But like they're there if you're dedicated enough. But the food restaurant, no, you can see that up from a mile away.
That's how it
I
goes.
could just see me spending my whole day fast food restaurant, gym, back to another fast food restaurant, back to the gym to work it off again, like ping back and forth.
Right.
Mhm.
Hey, that brings us to a question from Jackie in the live chat, and I'll give it to Brittany because she's the most educated in all this. Have you ever considered a guide dog?
I thought about it, but unfortunately, I am allergic to dogs. And
Oh, yeah.
I know they do have hypoallergenic dogs, but then the other side to that is it's like having a kid. I don't want a kid. I'm I don't have time to be worried about feeding the dog, taking it out to use the bathroom, and it's too much. Buy the extra. Well, you don't have to buy a plane ticket for guide dogs, but it's a lot of work. I'm lazy. What about you, Shy?
I actually plan on getting a guide dog eventually. I personally don't think my vision is at a point where I need it yet, but I do want one. But it definitely would not be happening right now. And I also have another dog. Like,
I was gonna say, tame your dog.
yeah. Well, I can't. He's too old. He's like, he's too
Can I
old.
can I just chime in? Does everyone know how much guide dogs cost?
Ooh, I can talk about this because I've been doing research.
They're roughly about $60,000.
Yeah, they're very
Wait, you have to pay for it?
no. Okay.
Most
Oh.
of them you don't. Some schools you do.
Oh no.
So
I won't be having one.
um,
Broke.
Imagine how much that pony costs, Brittany.
Yeah. Now, hold on. I saw that episode, and I'm trying to figure out who thought it was a great idea to
Swear
make
to
a
God.
guide horse.
There's
a thing.
there's a whole
Swear to God.
website for it.
Yes,
guide horse.
I swear I went to the convention and I was like, oh my God, it's a pony in here. And I'm freaking out. And everybody's like, oh no, that's his guide pony. What?
Oh
What?
my God.
I feel like that is counterproductive. Like,
So expensive, I'm
you
sure.
should see
I
how
feel like
huge the
that's
thing. Luckily, we were in a big building, but that thing was huge. Like, what store are you going in with that?
So here's the
Yeah.
thing that I immediately thought about. So imagine having a cane with a sword,
Yeah,
and then
yeah.
you have a horse, a guide horse, right?
Oh,
You're just Zorro out here. Like,
Yeah, Zorro, I love that.
like Robin Hood, whatever.
Right.
you're just riding around. Imagine just holding the cane, wielding it in the air as you're riding your guide horse on the street. Like,
Ridiculous.
that's gotta be awesome to try.
I say give me a guide alligator, you know what I mean? I want to intimidate
Oh
people.
my God.
Oh God.
But I wanted to touch on the whole paying for your guide dog thing. So
Yeah.
Sorry, Shy.
there are 3 ways, I guess, that you could get a guide dog. So number 1 would be going to a guide dog school that's not that is a nonprofit. That's what I would do anyway. Like a lot of them are. So you would do your research, find a school that is reputable and is a nonprofit, and all of those schools, their goal is to make sure that there is no cost to the blind person that is receiving the help. So you don't pay for anything. You don't pay for the dog. You don't pay for you don't pay for jack squat. You don't even have to feed yourself because a lot of those schools have cafeterias on campus. So you want to go to a nonprofit school.
Yes.
Now, you could also go to a school that's not a nonprofit and is a business and will charge you for the dog. That's a thing. You could also get a puppy and learn to train that puppy. You can do owner training. You can have an owner trained guide dog. And then at the end of that, I don't know where you go to take classes to make sure you're training that dog properly. I assume there's information for that.
See,
But
I was told that you cannot do that. That's not an option.
you can, but I think you have to, like I said, I think you as a person have to take classes to make sure that you're doing it right.
Yeah,
But you-
there's certain like license and certifications that you have to train that puppy. And
Oh yeah.
I don't know. I don't know all. I just because I asked that same question and I was told no.
I think it's because I've definitely heard of it being done, but I think it's kind of a pain in the butt because
I was gonna say, I think if you have the
I'd rather
money, you
just pay
could do
somebody.
it.
yeah,
Yeah, if you have the money, like definitely probably do that, and it'll get done faster. But I feel like that's got to be like the most expensive way to do it.
Yeah, I was gonna say I feel like that's not productive at all. Like you might as well just go to a nonprofit or
exactly.
buy one for $6,000. Like why would I? That's a lot of work on me.
No,
Yeah.
not 6,000, 60,000.
Oh, 60, definitely not.
$1,000. Yes,
Yes, they're very expensive.
it's so expensive because so much goes into those dogs. They're amazing.
Mhm.
Mm-hmm.
The thing.
I've heard
Oh, go ahead, Jay.
because I've been talking to my O&M instructor about it. They say that like you get an increased confidence being out in public with a guide dog versus using a cane.
Yeah.
Which
I
I
believe
think
that.
like I want to get a guide dog. The problem is
Same.
my apartment is just entirely too small at the moment
Too small.
for a guide dog. So once I get a bigger space, my intention is to get a guide dog.
Yeah.
I just have to my O&M is basically like, just let me know when you're ready and they'll put in the paperwork. I think I'm either going to go because there's guiding eyes for the blind, which Bella talks about.
Because that's where Kira's from. Yeah.
Yeah. Then that's, if they weren't up in New York, like if they're willing to bring me to New York, I would go to New York to learn. Or there's one over in New Jersey. I can't remember what they're called. They're another good one that's nonprofit. A lot of the ones that I know of are nonprofit.
Yeah, me too. I've actually never heard, like, I don't know what the ones that are businesses are called. Like, I know they exist, but all the ones that I know of are nonprofits. Like in Florida, we have Southeastern Guide Dogs, which if I did get a dog, that's where I would get my dog from, and they're a nonprofit.
So my question is, what does a for-profit do for a guide dog that a nonprofit won't? Because there has to be sorry.
No, go ahead.
There has to be, for me to look at it and say, either pay $60,000 or pay nothing, you have to have something that's like unique for me to want to pay $60,000 for.
I think it's the waiting list, because with a nonprofit, you have to wait until they have a dog for you. There's no, I mean, they're training these, they're breeding, raising, training these dogs, and there's a waiting list. So it could take you 2 weeks to get a dog. It could take you 2 years to get a dog.
Right.
So some people, they want their dog when they want their dog, and that would be a reason to pay for the dog.
$60,000? Okay.
Not in my opinion.
Well,
that's two cars, college.
So I've heard, so the only thing that I would suggest, because I do want a guide dog very badly, I would absolutely go to a nonprofit. There was one that I was trying to get in contact with actually in Florida. But I have talked to a couple blind people where they told me, do your research where these dogs have been trained. Marie, I don't know if you guys know who she is on TikTok. She's pretty big.
Yeah, Marie.
Yep.
She's in the house.
She got a guide dog, and she went through, I think, 2 of them before she got hers because it did not match well with her personality. It was trained by like prisoners. And I don't think that that's an issue. It's just, it was a tough dog, and it doesn't work for everybody's personality that way. And so like some of the nonprofits, they do have prisoners training these dogs, which like, I think that's great for the prisoners. I think it's also great for the dogs. Like, I feel like, I would want a certain dog because I do want it as also protection. I'm 5'1" and I'm 126 pounds. So like, I would love to have a German Shepherd as a guide dog, because I know that that's also like, people are going to be like, I'm not even going to go near her. I'm not even going to mess with that. But I know that it doesn't always match well with people's personalities or what they do on a daily basis. Like, are you just walking to and from work? Are you going out to bars? Are you going to like, are you going for a run through the neighborhood? I think it just all depends. So I would just do your research as to where and how the dogs are trained before you pick just any nonprofit to go to.
Definitely.
Right.
Good
So
point.
my thing is with the guide dogs. I know they train you as well as the dog, but I would like imagine me like, okay, because they like with your cane. My one instructor taught me like you have to trust your cane. So I would have to trust the dog, and I barely trust my cane.
Right.
Right.
So, and my cane is being operated by me. So I'm supposed to just trust that there's a step there or not a step there. Like I have a hard time doing that.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, the thing with the dogs is it is a partnership. So you still have the control. The dog is there to tell you. The dog, like for example, if you're walking and you come up to a staircase, the dog's gonna stop.
Mm-hmm.
Tells you that they're stopping for a reason, something's going on, and then you get to be like, okay, or they'll stop and they'll put their first paw up on the step, and now you're like, okay, so that means there's stairs, and then you have to say, okay, let's go. So it's very much a partnership. It's very much working together. So it's not necessarily let this dog drag me around. Don't have
well, there was a story. Actually, Marie told the story about her guide dog. She said,
drag her into the street or something.
Yeah, she was trying to step out into the street, and those cars that are like they're quiet. What are the Prius type cars? They're so quiet you can't hear them. And Marie thought it was safe to go, and the dog stopped, and she's like, "Why are you pulling back?" So she got, and then the car just went right by, and she's like, "I would have literally got hit by a car." So they're trained, like that's their job. That's what they do.
Wow.
And I think that may make,
Go ahead, Jay.
I think that may make night travel easy for a lot of us.
Yeah.
Right.
Because while your cane can pick up a lot of feedback, I know first for protection, and second, especially now that they're trying to make cars a lot more quiet, it would make it a lot easier for night travel having a guide dog.
Right.
For sure.
So the quiet cars, I don't know who told me. I don't even know if it's a true fact, but they're saying that by law, cars have to make a certain amount of noise.
Yeah, NFB just went and what is it? What is it?
Okay, check her out, NFB.
Brittany, if you are not the president of the NFB in the next 10 years, it's going to be
I know,
concern.
for real.
Listen, Rick Abona was not having it. Okay,
they went in. They told me that was one of the things that they proposed, and it's like a law now that these companies have to put in sounds for the cars, like a backing up sound. There's like 4 mandatory sounds. It's like a backing up sound, accelerating sound. Like they have to put sounds in these electric cars now, because like the electric cars are great because they're great for the planet and all that stuff. But they're also, like you guys said, very quiet. So now it's a law going forward that they have to have these sounds put in place. So that will get better and help a lot of us. So yay.
I love that. I just want to say quickly, thank you everybody for listening to Inspirations Beyond Disabilities. We're going to continue with the live stream for a little while, as long as everybody wants to be here, but we filled our hour for the podcast.
Hell yeah.
I love that. I want to say thank you to Jay. I actually had to go over to TikTok here to make sure I had his name correctly. Somebody in the stream said burrito blurred.
Yeah.
Between them and I, we didn't get it right. But I do want everybody to go ahead and follow Jay. He's the baritone blurred, and his link is in the description portion of the podcast, as well as everything else. And so thank you everybody for being here. Tune in next week, for more.
Yes, come back.
I just had to come up with hey everybody, welcome back to another episode of Inspirations Beyond Disabilities. There you go. And now we're back.
Wow. That was an hour. I did not know that was an hour.
Yeah,
we always end up going over. We always end up doing like 2 hours.
Yeah, but it's fun. We didn't even get to like petty blind people stuff or Jay's questions.
I know the commercials.
Because
commercials you do, Jay.
Shy, you stitched something that made me really upset, and it was this. Was it you, Shy? It was this girl being called ugly.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've seen that.
Whoa! I did not see this. I didn't see this.
Of course you didn't.
So
I know.
somebody told this girl that she deserved to be ugly because she was blind.
No, she deserved to be blind.
Oh, she deserved to be blind because she was ugly.
I know, and then I was looking at her and I was like, "Am I really blind? Because she's gorgeous. She was beautiful.
That's one. But then
That's
it's
the most important point.
Right. Most important point.
two is the audacity of some people.
The
People get
audacity.
very, very comfortable behind a keyboard in the safety of their own home to say whatever they feel like they want to say and feel like there's not going to be any repercussions. The problem is that TikTok doesn't hold enough of the people, these trolls, accountable for what they say. The people who step up and defend someone who's being bullied or harassed, or the people that step up and defend like what's right, they're the ones that get the flack from TikTok, and I don't understand. I seen a video yesterday. I didn't know if I was going to say anything about it because I'm still waiting to hear. I messaged him about it, and I seen the video disappear, so I don't know whether TikTok pulled it or whether he pulled it. I don't know if anybody's watched comedian Blind Zach.
Yeah.
He had a video he put up yesterday where he said that TikTok is purposely shadow banning disabled creators because they're trying to quote unquote protect us from harassment and bullying by people's comments or whatever. And my first thought is, who said I wanted your protection? Like,
right.
If I got on this platform to share my story, to put myself out there, I've long thought about it. Because if you're
That's
on TikTok, you've been on the
about.
internet longer than 5 minutes. And you know any platform you go on is going to have people who purposely troll, who purposely antagonize, who purposely want to set you off just to watch it for their enjoyment.
Yep.
I don't.
Also, why is TikTok punishing the disabled people and not punishing the people that are bullying them?
Exactly.
So that's the thing. So
it's protection.
No, the hell it's not.
So
no, the hell it's not.
Brittany will know this.
We are fragile.
Where I'm coming from with this. It's not protection. It's discrimination.
Yes.
Period. You can try to package it as nicely as you want to, but what you're basically saying is, I'm going to limit the number of people who see your videos because you're not tough enough to handle the criticism.
Right.
Or we don't feel like you're tough enough to handle the criticism. If you watch a number of us respond to some trolls, you will know full well we are more than capable of handling ourselves in the comment section. We are more than capable of
coming at your neck.
Some of my favorite videos are watching some of y'all respond to some trolls and then watch the troll basically back. Like, you know what? I wasn't expecting that kind of smoke. I'm sorry.
Exactly.
Okay.
The troll don't even respond back. They just don't even.
Can we talk about one of the most annoying responses?
Yes.
And I know for a fact that you guys have experienced this.
Go.
You call them out, right? They leave some stupid comment. I love my video replies. I make a little video reply. And sure enough, they're the first comment talking about, it was just a joke. Why can't you take a joke?
Sir, your life is a joke.
Not just
stop
the way you look is a joke.
Stop making these comments. Let's start with that.
Yeah.
See, I noticed they only do that to the women in the community. They don't go. I've never heard Zach or myself or Tim. Like I don't usually see as many of those come for us, but they love coming for y'all. And my problem is
I've seen Zach reply to a couple, stupid questions, but his comebacks be so cutthroat that they just he's like, okay,
I gotta
let me shut up.
I like to see some of those.
I don't know what it is about. I guess it's because I try to keep a positive, happy, loving aura on my page. So I think they see that and they're like, oh, I can fuck with her, because she's so nice. I could pick on her. And then when I come back, with a response, and they're like, whoa, I thought you were nice. You're so mean. You didn't have to be. And then I really have people defending these idiots in my comments, like, you didn't have to be so, because I guess they're not used to seeing that side of me. Because trust me, baby, it's there. I may be nice, but don't come for me. And so they're like, oh my God, you didn't have to be mean. Like, you're not usually mean like that. Yeah, well, I'm not usually getting dumbasses in my comments either. So
how did you expect me to respond to that? How do you expect me to? But the thing about it is they love attention. And the second you don't give it to them, the second you, like, I had one video, I had 2 videos basically go viral so far, at least what I'm calling viral. The Snaps video, the Yes We Are Disabled video, and the Android video. And the Yes We Are Disabled video, I had a bunch of people just say like mean stuff, and I just wrote the comment underneath, ignored by creator, and just kept moving.
I would have start doing that.
That's so funny.
And they were like, "What do you mean ignored by creator?" And I just left it alone, and I just
I
kept
love
reading.
that.
And like
I'm gonna
when
start doing that most
they
definitely.
want you to respond so that they can report your video as harassment
Yep.
and bullying, so that they can
Yep.
have your channel banned.
Mm.
The
Yes.
second you ignore them, the second that they feel like their attempts to throw you off don't work, then they're bored and they move on. Plus,
Right.
like I said in a video, and filter out every word you don't, because TikTok gives you the ability to filter words in your comments. Filter out every word you never want to see in your comment section.
I don't. Can you do whole sentences? If you're blind, I don't want to see it.
Yes, you can.
I don't want
Yes,
to
you
see
can.
it.
Actually, you can.
If
Actually,
you're
you can. It'll be like
blind,
I star 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 star
If
star
you're
star
blind,
star.
how did you know?
If you're
blind, how did
really
you-
blind,
right?
if you're really blind, how did you read the comment? If you're really
That's-
blind,
that's
why
fine.
did you?
Everybody
This is my
literally
thing.
responds to that. Everybody gets
Yes.
that in at least one video or another.
Yep.
See, but this
And
is my
everybody
thing, though.
responds.
Well, yeah, because you gotta. Because I feel like I'm educated.
Some
Like,
people
because I feel
really
like there's so many people asking that question, and I'm going to respond to it every now and then. Because you get new followers, and you know they're thinking it. So I just put it
Right.
up there, respond to it, and let them know. You
Yeah.
know, but
Don't imply I'm lying about being blind.
yeah,
though.
I hate that the implication. If you're gonna ask the question,
Yeah.
just ask it. Why do you have to say if you're like?
Right.
But and my other thing is like people like they'll be like, you're not really blah da da da. And then they'll say like, if you're blind, and how'd you read the comment, thinking that they're proving something. But it's like, do
Right.
you really think that if I wanted to pretend to be blind, say I was pretending, would I answer the comments knowing blind people can't do that?
Right.
That
Right.
wouldn't make sense. Then it wouldn't be believable.
So the thing, if people really sat down and thought about it, there is no advantage, literally none, to
You're right.
pretending to be blind. Like think about it. All right, so you're pretending to be blind for attention. If you're smart, if you're funny, if you're pretty, if you're talented, you can get attention in a different way.
Yep.
Exactly.
You're
I can get
pretending
on
to
there
be
and shake
blind
my
for-
ass.
You're a
That's
girl.
what I literally responded to a lady in a video saying that. I was like, listen, I'm 28 years old. I don't need attention, but if I wanted it, I would put on a thong bikini like all these other girls are doing. I would twerk the
And
shit
do one
out of
them
my
little
ass on
stupid
this app.
dances.
It is not that difficult. I was
Like,
like, I would not
right.
make up a whole
it's-
story about being blind.
I mean, for real, there's an even simpler way apparently on TikTok. Just spout out something incredibly stupid,
Yep.
And
make it a
Helen
video,
Keller's not real. I don't care what
Yes.
anybody says.
Yes.
Helen
Oh
Keller
my
isn't
God.
real.
Oh my God.
and there you go. You
Hey,
are
that-
instantly TikTok famous, and your account is guaranteed to be protected because TikTok doesn't deal with those kind of accounts.
And
So
by,
it's easy to be famous.
I want to say something about that Helen Keller video because people kept saying she's going through something. She's going through an emotional crisis and we need to give her support. The video's still up. It's still up.
Exactly.
She had to be clear-headed at some point and she still hasn't taken it down. So fuck her.
Okay, so here's the
She is not. Have you seen her other videos? She is not going through anything except she's just wants attention.
Look, she just wants
she
attention.
calls it her
Now
spam
that's
account.
who they need to be in her comments talking about. You just want attention, not us.
Right.
she calls it her spam account.
Yeah.
And we-
So
Yeah.
that was the indicator for me. Like I
Ah,
one of the things I really want this community, if I could say nothing else, stop stitching these people
yes.
because they
Yeah.
want the attention.
Yeah.
They literally want to gaslight you to increase their viewership because
Love
they
me or
know
hate
Yeah.
me.
positive views. Like I seen a video the other day where it was like TikTok and social media does not discriminate between positive views or positive comments and negative comments. All
That's
they
right.
see is comments.
Yes.
Mhm.
5,000 comments of you stink and you should not be on this app and what are you saying? To TikTok is still 5,000 comments.
Yep.
Yeah.
So
Right.
we gotta stop stitching these people. Stop like
Mhm.
because they don't care. They
Commenting.
know what they're
Yep.
doing. They
Yeah,
know
Right.
full well what they're doing.
See,
and they-
but what upset me about that is like I started seeing other sided people spewing the same bullshit, and
Yeah.
they believe people are believing her. That's the part. Like I saw another creator. I'm not gonna say his name, but I unfollowed him because I used to love him. He's a gay man, and he was like, yeah, like he said something about Helen Keller. He was like, yeah, like that shit's not real. And I commented, and I was like, that's very ableist.
Yeah.
And his whole community was under the
Turned on.
comments like, yeah. And I was like, that's crazy because you are also from a community where you want people to understand you. You want people to
Right.
respect you. And all of you I say, hey, that's ableist. Can we not say that anymore? And all of like everybody, all his followers, him, everybody. I was like, wow, okay, well,
Wow.
unfollow.
I unfollowed.
You would think that of
too.
all people, they would understand.
She's
But that's-
she's a role model to us. If anything else, she's an
Right.
inspiration.
But
and
it tells you
Yeah.
how
be thought
low
about
the
that
bar.
way.
You got to think about it. It tells you how low the bar is, or
Yeah.
how low
Mhm.
people have set the bar for people
Yeah.
with any type of impairment.
Right.
you could
Like
write a
even
book, if
even
you
the
could fly a plane-
LGBTQ get more respect. I'm sorry, go ahead.
Yep,
I'm a-
you're right. No, no, I'm sorry. You're right. And I thought about this. If we're all fighting for our individual groups, then none of us are
Mhm.
coalescing for a message. And the
Mhm.
like everybody else is getting credit for their struggle except for the blind community, the disability
Mhm.
community. And I think it's
Mhm.
because we're so scattered with our various disabilities, we're not
Mhm.
coming together for any real message. So I like
Mhm.
the NFB thing, because if they're telling you what message, what topics to bring up, then we're
Mhm.
all talking about the same thing. And there's
Right.
a group called Run for Something, where they're
Mhm.
asking people to run for office, good people. And I asked them,
Mhm.
do you handle disabled people? And she said, yes, we have mentors specifically for blind and deaf people.
That's
So
how I would do that.
That's all.
right.
Right.
So there is ways that we can get a message out there, but nobody
Mhm.
knows we exist. There's 49 million uninstitutionalized disabled people in this country, and we don't
Mhm.
have a voice. And that's
Mhm.
what's
Not,
really
not at
sad.
all.
But
Well,
the
I
other,
mean,
My
the other,
other thing with the Helen. Oh, I'm sorry, Jason.
no, go ahead.
My other thing with the Helen Keller thing is okay. We say it all the time. We say it till we're blue in the face. Blindness is a spectrum, and so is
Mhm.
deafness. So
Yes.
they're like
Mhm.
her hand, her signature was perfect. Who says she's totally blind?
Right.
Yeah.
She may be under 2200, but that doesn't mean she has no sight. They're like, oh well, she's deaf. How does she
Yeah.
communicate? Who says she's totally deaf? I have friends who are deaf and blind, but they still
Mhm.
can hear something. They can still see something, but they're still
Right.
classified as, because they're under the the number.
Yeah.
They're
the
under
only way
they fall under the criteria.
the only way that people are actually ever going to understand that is you have to change what's in the media about deaf
Yes.
and blind, because
That's gonna
the
be a tough one.
perspective,
Yep.
people don't learn through books. People don't learn through information. People learn through television, through fiction. And unless
Mhm.
we can get an actual advocate to deal
Yep.
with the media and teach that
Yep.
there is a spectrum of blindness, teach that there is a spectrum of deafness, teach that
Mhm.
people are able to do this, and that this isn't just
Mhm.
like, think about it. Everybody's heard the Daredevil reference, right?
Yep.
And
Hate it.
until the movie, no one knew who Daredevil even was. So no one really had a spectrum of blind people being capable to do anything outside of like Ray Charles and Stevie
Right.
Wonder. Again,
Mhm.
movies, right? So until you can get some actual accurate representation in
Yep.
film, in television, it's not
Mhm.
going to change, because that's where people's frame of reference for literally everything is.
Everything.
Yeah.
Right.
Did you guys hear that interview where they were talking about Stevie Wonder and Shaq, and Stevie Wonder was getting off an elevator in a hotel, and Shaq was like in front of it. So he was walking in, whatever, and Stevie was the first one that was like, "Oh, what's up, Shaq?" And someone was saying like,
Wow.
"He's not blind. It's all for fame." And I was like, "Y'all are so dumb." You know how many like
Wow.
how do you there was security that was like, "Oh, Shaq is coming up," or like Shaq is like 1,000 feet tall. Who do you think
Right.
he is?
Who,
There was probably
who
an event
else's
going.
voice sounds like that?
And
Exactly, and, like,
you know what he smells like if you've met him before, right?
Also,
Right.
like, they're probably at an event. You know who's staying in the hotel with you.
Right.
Mhm.
You guys are like it really, because people say it to me, like I'll be out like at a restaurant or a bar, someone will come up and they'll be like, "Hey, Kate," and I know who it is because I know their voice. I'm not dumb. They're like,
Right.
"You're not
Right.
blind," and I'm like, "No, I just know their voice because I've been around them for the
Mhm.
past 10 years of my life."
Mhm.
Right. But
It's not
Right.
that like
stand across the room and wave at me and see me ignore you. You know?
Right.
Yeah, exactly. my thing is like people walk up to me and they're like, "Oh, how'd you know I was standing here? I see this big blob in front of me. It's got to be a
Right.
person." Like like you may not be clear, but I see a
Right.
blob.
I mean, there's that, and the fact that you're probably heavy and I can hear you moving from place
Right.
to
Yeah,
place.
people
Right.
really think they're being stealthy. Like you are breathing heavy as shit right now.
I know,
Like,
right?
say
I can
you are
hear
not
you.
Batman, I
but
know
you can
you're
sense
coming.
people standing around you.
You
Yeah.
can feel them.
You can sense it. Yeah. Like
yeah,
people
you can feel their energy.
Hold on.
Yes.
because I'm wondering this too. I gotta ask some sideys because I know it can't just be a blind thing because I could do this when I had more vision. So I know that you can feel when someone is standing.
Look at
you.
Yes.
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 that alone,
Yes.
standing in front of you, you could feel people staring at you.
You can,
Yes.
yeah, if they're staring at you already.
Yeah.
Yes.
When I was sighted, I would just be sitting there and you would just be like, I feel something. And you look up and there's somebody staring at you.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's the same
And
thing.
you always look in the direction as where you feel
that
like it's
they're
coming from.
yes. Yes.
Like, you know, people, like, I remember sitting in class because, you know, I've had my vision pretty much my whole life. And like, I'll be sitting in class and like, you know, your friend is staring at you and you just know to look up at them.
Yeah.
Right.
Like, you know, like from across the room or something. Like, it's not, people are just don't think. They're just really something. But like, Jay, you're right about it's we're answering these people, which is giving them what they want, regardless. They're still getting the comments, they're still getting the views, they're still getting follows. And like, we're answering these people because we're defending ourselves and our community, but we're also giving them what they want. So it's like, we have to, instead of stitching their video, we have to just talk about the video in our own video without.
Well, what I noticed a lot of people do is instead of stitching it, they put it on a green screen. That way, like, you can't get to the video, you can't find the person's page, but I'm still able to show and talk about it.
Yeah,
That's
I don't know how to do that. I don't know how
That's
to.
a good idea.
Surprise!
I just learned how to do it.
I
Like, you have
did.
to like save the video and then go do green screen in the effects.
But the reason I stitched that video, and it was like, because I stitched Helen Keller Girl.
I did too.
It was probably the fourth or fifth time I had seen someone on TikTok saying those words.
Yes.
I tell
I've
you
seen so many people say it.
When I tell you that it was an instinctual gut response.
No, I get it.
I get it. I literally.
There's only so many times you can see it before
you blow,
explode. Lash out.
I exploded. I literally 3 buttons stitch before I even knew what I was doing. I was looking at myself in the camera.
Right.
But that's unfortunately the dark side of the internet, because literally anything, any opinion you can possibly imagine is on the internet. And unfortunately with TikTok, now you can actually see a face for the stupid words that some people will put out.
You just want to go to the camera, just punch them right in their face.
At times, yes. At times, but then there's some people I noticed, like, that's somebody, I actually did a duet of it. I have to put it out. But somebody put out a video talking about, because it's something that's been around for a long time. And for some forms of media, that's actually how you get into like certain forms of television media. How much can you gaslight an audience?
Sure.
So that you can end up on, you know what I mean?
That reminds me of that girl. She was she on Catfish? She was on one of those MTV shows, and she's a black woman, but she like every time I see her get popular on social media, it's because she's gaslighting people. And like she's like black girls are ugly, the guys are ugly, black people are ugly, but she's
it's a stepping stone to, because basically what you've done is you've created an audience that will now watch you to be mad at you. Right.
Exactly. And she knows what she's doing. And I'm like, y'all, like, I literally did not stitch her. At first I was like, then I realized like everybody was stitching her, and I was like, y'all are giving her what she wants. And that's when I was like, okay, I'm not going to do it because that's what she wants. She doesn't really think that. She's just gaslighting.
Right.
So
go ahead.
I grew up a wrestling fan. I grew up a wrestling fan all of my life. And the bad guys, what they call the heels, their jobs are to purposely make you angry.
Jake
like
the Snake.
Purposely. Exactly.
Right.
Like a Jake the Snake, the Iron Sheik. Like, their job is to make you angry. And
it's performative.
If they're not making you angry, they're not doing their job. Right. So these kind of people, I look at them like wrestling heels. Their job is to purposely make you angry so that you want to see them, to hate them. Yeah. So they build their audience off of, and yes, there is a small population that will agree with them. But for the large part, some people aren't agreeing with their opinion. They just hate the people that don't agree with their opinion. And that's how they build their own platform. So you just kind of keep escalating your platform like that. They go from small media
I don't
accounts.
think I'd be able to be a person that like makes people angry. Like, I don't want everybody angry at me. Like,
of course not.
Me walking out in the street, people just want to beat me up. Like, no, thank you.
But like, the way I think is like, what is wrong with you? Like,
Right.
why would
Yeah.
you want to, like, who are, like, you don't even know who you are if you act like that because you need attention
Right.
in
Yeah.
some
So-
sort of way. Like, it's
Think about-
disgusting.
Think about it like this: we really do it instinctually since we were children. Kind of circular back to an earlier
Yeah.
point.
Bad
Children
behavior
get
is
attention two ways:
bad
positive
attention is
or
attention.
negative.
Right.
Attention is
Right.
attention. So
See,
they're going
Go
to get
ahead.
famous one way or the other.
Right.
Right.
Like, yeah, like all those girls on Dr. Phil and all that shit. Now they're like big, and I'm like, they're big influencers and all this shit. And I'm because
Mhm.
I'm like, you guys are like
What's that girl?
losers. You're
What's that
straight
girl? Is
losers.
her name
Like,
Cash Doll? What's
Oh,
that girl
no,
name?
well,
the
she's one
Meet
of
Me
them, but then-
Outside. Catch me
Yeah, but-
outside.
big bad. What's her
Mhm.
name? Bad baby. Bad.
Yes, her.
And then there's the other girl that was like the brat and treated her mom like shit, and like, and she was just like, I deserve this type of this, and I'm this, and I will never work, and
Wait,
like
what
I'm
about the
whatever. And now
one-
she's huge.
Yeah.
What is that? The same one that was like, I had sex with 24 men in the same night. Is that her?
Probably. I don't know. It sounds like it would be her. But
See,
there was a video that I stitched that I don't really know who these like creators are. It's a girl and her boyfriend, and
Oh yeah.
she's physically disabled, but she can't really speak that well. But she comprehends. Like, she's all there.
I saw them.
And like, when I say that I had to remake my stitch because people were bullying the shit out of her, and I had to remake my stitch 12 times because at first I was like, come to my motherfucking page and bully me, bit. Like, I was so mad.
Yeah.
And then I was like, that's hyping them up. That's what they want. And then I'm like, okay, we got to go block. I literally was just like, I don't know who all of you think you are, like how pretty you are. You're the football star. I don't know how much money you got. Like, all that shit can be taken from you.
Yep.
And you're sitting
Period.
here,
You're not gonna be beautiful forever.
and it's like, it's not even that. Like whatever you like, shit comes and goes. Like, you think you're hot shit, but like, karma's a real thing. You're gonna talk shit.
Mhm.
I will never forget this ever. Okay, so growing up, when I had diabetes, I still have diabetes, obviously.
I was gonna say when you had.
Well, I think it's like I was young, probably when I first got it. I had an insulin pump, so like I would go to the neighborhood pool, and you can see like there's like a little. It looks like a beeper, and there's like a tube hanging from my arm or my leg or something, right? That's connected to
and
me.
you clip it on the side of your pants.
Yes. And then
Mhm.
I was at the pool one day, and this kid was making fun of me for it. And I'm like, dude, like, it, like, when people make fun of me, it really doesn't hurt my feelings. Like, because I'm literally just like, yeah, well, I'd rather like not die, so I'm gonna wear it. I don't care. And he was just ripping on me for it, or whatever. And he's like, at least I don't have a tube hanging from my arm. Like, oh, you got diseases. I don't know, whatever. A year
Mhm.
later, he was diagnosed with type 1 diabetes.
Wow.
Like, honestly, like, even like
Karma.
with all the trolls and all that shit, like, they think they're funny. And like,
Mhm.
they're hiding behind their screen, something that they would never say into someone's
Mhm.
face, whatever. But like, why are we not going and blocking all of their accounts or reporting their accounts?
Yeah. That's what
Right.
I started doing recently is I'll just, if I see some crap, I'll go to that person's account and I'll just report it.
Mhm.
Report them.
Video.
Mhm.
I wanted to touch on that, what you said about, oh, shit. Someone else go. Damn it.
Was it
So-
about a stitch?
I don't think so. Damn it. I lost it.
Oh no. Well, sound. How's the weather?
You get that happens. It'll pop back up. So you guys were
Right.
talking about faking blindness and why would we fake being blind? But most people believe that we're faking blind for the sweet, sweet disability checks.
Oh,
If
God.
you knew how much
I had to bust out laughing at that.
this,
Yeah.
I thought about making a
$1,100 a
video
month.
just
Woo!
putting that out there. Like,
And
some of
can't
y'all
find a
would be
job.
drastically disappointed if you
Yeah.
thought we wouldn't. You know how much pain and anxiety and depression you have to go through with Social Security
Oh,
to
yeah.
get a check that
That doesn't even
equivalents
cover all of your
to an
expenses.
allowance.
Right.
Yes.
You were-
It
it is
pays
basically
for
Only get it once a
nothing.
month.
It pays for nothing.
Absolutely nothing.
And if you live in a major city, good luck finding an apartment or a house
Right.
or
Right.
anything with what
Mhm.
that pays out. People think that you're getting like 3-4 grand a month.
I
Right.
Hell no.
Give you free
Also-
housing.
I was gonna say, and with the housing and all that stuff, yes, there are programs where you can get low income housing and you have to pay for it with that check. And then you have groceries, you have light bills, you have all this shit, right?
Mhm.
And people don't understand that, like, by the time you pay your bills or whatever,
Bro,
You have
your
nothing.
check is gone. And then on top of
You're in the
that,
negative.
stop acting like we can go out and get a job like it's nothing
Right.
for a backup like income. Like, that's not how that works. We can't just go get a job wherever we want and get paid. No one hires us.
adding to that fact, like, if you do somehow manage to get lucky to find a job that will pay you an additional $300 to $400 a month,
Yep.
Right.
Social Security will look at you like, oh,
Gone.
so
Yep.
you can work.
Mhm.
Bye-bye. Not only bye-bye, but you now owe us for all the back money we've paid you before, because you could have did this before, right? So now give us this
Right.
back money again. So no.
Well, but you can
Well,
also,
that's
I mean, you
that's
can
only if you
have,
don't report it.
I was gonna say,
No. Even if you do, I know people who, like, on day one reported, hey, because SS in its law says you can work like a small, like, part-time job.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Right.
here you
Blind
can't
people
make
can
more
earn
than
20%.
2,400.
Right, you
Yeah.
can do that, and they reported it on day one. But because Social Security looked at it a totally different way, they tried to put it back on the person. Like, no, you could work a full-time job. You could work this full-time. You can work this full-time. So now, not only are we cutting you off, but you now owe us back money for X amount of years that you had this part-time
Oh,
job.
wow.
Yeah,
Wow.
Social Security gets finicky when it comes to certain things. Like, they get real finicky. Like, it's not exactly accurate with all of its
Mhm.
reporting, and it's not
Mhm.
exactly helpful.
I would like to
I
hear,
actually had
I
them
would,
come to me. Oh,
I would like to hear more people's story about that, to be honest. But go ahead, Brittany.
I've actually had them come to me like a year ago. Like I applied for disability once, and they always deny you the first time. So then I applied again, but I brought an attorney with me this time.
There you
So
go.
to make sure I would get it. But then my attorney was supposed to get paid out of my lump sum.
Right.
So somehow, like, when I got my lump sum, the money was gone. But here they come a year and a half later, and they're like, "Oh yeah, we're gonna start taking $50 a month away from your money because we didn't pay your lawyer." Yes, you did.
No.
right.
You did. I
They're
I
terrible
checked.
with records. They're terrible with
Right.
records,
Yeah.
and you have to be willing to,
Your record
like,
online.
there are times, I kid you not, I will go through a whole anxiety attack the moment I see a letter from
Mhm.
Social Security,
Yeah.
because I
And
don't
period.
know
I
what that
swear to
letter
God,
is about.
you
Bill-
IRS, Social Security, you like,
And-
oh shit.
And the worst thing is sometimes they will, like, I know somebody that they cut off before they
Yeah.
got the letter. It
That's
was just
me.
like you just woke up on the day you were supposed to get paid. You went, oh my God, there's
Yep.
nothing here. There's nothing
Yep.
here. Wait,
Right.
this is a banking holiday. What's going on? And they got the letter
Mhm.
like 5 days later, like, yeah, man, we cut you off.
That
Yeah.
And
happened.
that's the end
Yeah.
of that.
And they always send a letter late.
Yeah.
After it happens. They never,
Yeah.
it never
Yeah.
gets to you before.
Yeah.
And
So
then
that you can
Aetna dropped me because Social Security stopped my payments, so I lost my insurance. And then I got a phone call that
Yeah.
said you need to be across the state at the only eye doctor that can give you a test to verify that you're still blind.
Mm,
And then the guy
mhm.
looked at me like I wasn't blind. He's
Oh,
like, "Here."
those
That's
are,
Yeah.
I have a story like that.
I have a story too. Jay, you can
Oh
go first.
my God. So I've had to,
Oh.
so I had to verify for Social Security like 2 or 3 times in my life. Because one point I was on and they thought I had a full-time job, and I wasn't. I was actually in school, and they cut me off. I had to re-verify, and I had to come back home because I wasn't living in Philadelphia. I was living like outside of Pittsburgh at that point. I had to come back home, and this guy literally thought, like, that whole thing where I did the Law and Order, where it's like the guy's holding a flashlight in front of your face, like he's trying to interrogate you, was based on this story. This guy
Here,
literally
swear.
acted like he was a detective. Like he was trying to catch
Mhm.
every little move, like, aha, you looked at your phone. Of course you can see. Like, first off, how did you become a doctor?
Right.
How did you become a doctor? Like, have they not
Right.
informed you? Like, and the other thing is, with Art P, it's not always necessarily about what you can see, because they're going to look into your eyes to see like what's going on inside your eye anyway.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So like, they're going to look to see like, all right, what's going on in there? Like, is there bone spectrum? Like, how is that all working inside your eye? So
Right.
you can put on the best performance if you want to. They're still going to check your eyes out. Like, I'm
Right.
not,
Yes.
I'll have
I'm
to
not
literally.
They be having the lights and everything all up in your eyes. Like they be all in the back of your eyes.
Yeah.
Yes, and that's what, and that's for them what it really determines. Because like
Mhm.
they'll know, like people, I guess people will try to fake like they can't read a night chart or whatever, but they look
Mhm.
inside your eyes to see what's going
And they're like,
on,
"There's
and
nothing wrong
inside
with
your
that."
eye is the story.
Oh
So,
my
like,
God.
Yeah,
I
how
did
do you
the
that's how it was
opposite.
for me.
I did the opposite of that. When the doctor wasn't in the office, I would get as close to the chart as I could to see what the line was so that I could memorize it and then go back, and when he asked me, I could say it. I tricked people for 2 years doing that. And then the doctor said, "Can you read the E?" And I was like, "Well, I know it's an E, but maybe I'm just
Mhm.
illiterate and not blind. Maybe if you put a chicken up there and ask me if I know what it is, I'll say it's a chicken because
Right.
I can see it." So
Mhm.
I don't
So
understand that. I don't
yeah,
understand that why people would think we're faking. There's no
there's
reason
yeah.
there's
for it.
no benefit to it. There's
So
literally no benefit to it.
it was almost like the doctors were pissed that they couldn't get me to read something because I could not. Like I
Right?
couldn't see it. Like period. The chart, period. I was like, I know there's a chart, but I don't
Hmm.
see anything on the chart. And they're like, well, what if I do this? What if I magnify this? What if I do
Right?
this? So they literally had to take one of those little cards with the same chart on it, and they literally had to put it on the lens. You know how to put that big thing in your face?
Yeah, yeah.
Yes,
They literally had to
yes.
put it up to the lens. And he's like, okay,
Wow.
can you see it now? And I was like, okay, I see the E now. And he's like, you're not even looking at the card. Because, I have peripheral. I don't have central. And I was
Right,
like, I
right.
am looking at the card. They're like, no, you're not. I'm like, yes, I am. And they're like, they almost seemed upset that I couldn't read it. Like, they're like,
It's
she's
That's
blind. She can't
it's
interesting.
see it. Give it
it's
to
scary
her.
that
She can't see it.
it's scary that there's ableism in
Right.
the
Mhm.
one place that's supposed to be able to understand
Right.
what's going on.
Right.
Like that's absolutely terrifying that you have to
Yeah.
prove yourself like
Mhm.
to such a thorough
But
extent.
but at the same time, there are people out there who play the system
Right.
and they wouldn't it wouldn't be that way if it wasn't for those people who take
Right.
advantage.
Yeah.
Yep.
So
That's right.
100%.
they
Yeah,
have to
that
do
makes
that.
sense.
You know what's crazy though? Because you guys are telling me all these stories, and I personally have only had good experiences.
Same.
I
Like
love that.
doctors that have to tell me that I'm blind for like disability and like for paratransit and stuff. They
Right.
literally, I walk in, I'm like, I have RP. They're like, okay. And then they do the little thing. Like they don't want to do it because it's not interesting or entertaining for them at all to examine
Right.
someone who already knows that they're blind.
All right,
So
so shot.
they will look at my eye, be like, yep, you have RP, write it down on a little.
Right.
They don't.
That's
For
that's
me,
how
it
it
was the
worked for me the
opposite.
second time. The second time that's how
Mhm.
when I because the eye doc I go to now, the Eye Institute, which is actually a couple blocks from my house, they have a low vision center and they have my history, they have my records. They've seen that I've been diagnosed with RP since I was like 3 years old. Like they
Right.
know that I have it.
Mhm.
Mhm.
So they just go, well, did anything change? No. Did you have a miracle? No. So you still got RP? Yeah. So here you go. And they just wrote it down and just walked away. And
My
just like anything
doctor-
else you need? I mean, no. But like a lot of times when you have that like proven history, some places are like, because they know what it's like for other people. Like they
Yeah.
know like, what are you coming in? Like, why in the world would you come in and fake this? Like you've had it all your life. It's in your records. Other places, I feel like they're paid to like try to weed out as many people as they possibly
Yeah.
can.
I wonder if it's like the area or something. Like I've heard like horror stories from like other people, but like like Charlotte, where I live, my doctors were on everything. Like I got disability in 1 year. I got like but like I went blind like overnight. It was like a freaking panic attack.
Me
and then
too. Mhm.
and then it was like a month and a half later, I lost the vision in my left eye completely. And like I had 6 eye surgeries back to back. Like they were working on it like hand and foot. And then when I went to the disability doctor so they can like, approve you or not. I mean, I didn't have a cane, like, and I was sick. Like I had type 1. I mean, I have type 1 diabetes. So like I was dropping weight. I was throwing up every day. Like it was bad. And my doctors are like watching me go through all of it. And they're not much older than me. They're like 34, I'm 28. They're not, they're like, we're close in age, whatever. And then the disability doctor, she looked in my eyes and she was like, "Oh yeah, girl, you're blind." I'm like, "Yeah." And like that was it. They signed me right through.
My doctors were opposite when it came to that. Like like, because I guess my condition is so rare, and they were like, "What, you have what?" I have students. Can we look? Like, now I have like 10 people in the room, like wanting to examine my eyes. Like, we've never
Same.
seen this.
I
Same.
Oh
have
my
that
God.
now. I have that now because the Eye Institute actually has a teaching school side of it,
Right.
and they'll walk out the room, and like 5 other people will come back with them, and they'll be like,
Yeah.
see this right here? That's what that looks like. And I'm just like,
Yeah. You're
when
like,
did I
what?
become a lab rat?
They don't ask
Yeah.
you. They always ask me first, and I'm allowed to
Yeah,
say.
they ask. They ask.
No, mine have like the people that are following them or something, and they come in, and I'm like, "Hi guys, welcome to the shit show. Welcome, everyone, file in.
Welcome, welcome, welcome.
I
Welcome."
love it.
But like, even when I go, because there have been times where, like, for example, the last time my eye doctor wanted me to try glasses, which was years ago, he was like, just whatever. He's like, even if it makes like a minute amount of difference, like it's covered by your insurance, just do it. And I was like, okay, fine. You want me to do it? I'll do it. So I went, and the people, like, in order for it to get covered by your insurance, you have to do the eye exam, even though I was like, there's no point. But I did it anyway.
Right.
And they're like, okay, what can you see? I'm like, the big E. And this is an eye doctor that has never seen me before, ever in my life. And they're just at like this random eyeglass store and, you know, whatever. So I walk in, we do the exam. And I was, by the time they got to the part where they look at my eyes, it's like, oh my God, like your retinas are so interesting. And I'm like,
right.
And they're like, wow, that's so crazy. But like, I've
Right.
never had people like trying to make me disprove before. It's always just been like
Amazement.
really nice. I don't know.
That's what I get.
Right.
I like to go to lens crafters with a friend or something and then go, why don't you look at my eyes? There's something wrong.
Yeah.
But hey, there was a note here from Sophia, right? And she says she loves how strong and positive you guys are. And
Oh, thank
keep up the
you.
good work.
You.
And then Annabelle wants to know how long disability has been so little and why it hasn't gone up with the cost with inflation, the cost of living. And I just want to say
Good
that
question. We talked about
Here's
that.
the sad thing.
it's
It
what
does
you
go
get.
up.
Jason.
It's what you put into it. So if somebody loses their eyesight and goes on disability at age 21, they get very little. But if somebody at 45 goes on disability, they get more.
They get a lot more.
But none of it is meant to be above the poverty line. It's all meant to be just above 200% below the poverty line, which is where you start getting assistance. I myself earn $30 too much to get any assistance from Medicare,
Me too.
Medicaid, or the state. So
Me, I make literally $1 over. Literally.
Yeah.
Disrespect.
Disrespectful.
Disrespectful.
I have no idea what the poverty line currently even is.
I
I
started
just
to
know
give the dollar
it
back.
stinks.
You can take it.
What is the
Take
poverty
dollar
line?
back.
What is
What
the
is the
poverty line?
I don't know what it's at right now. I have no
Just-
idea.
Jason, do you know?
go apply for Medicaid and they'll tell you what percent above it, above 200%
Right.
below you are.
Oh,
Oh, I mean, I'm approved. I have Medicaid now, so I'm obviously below
I
it.
do too, actually.
The poverty
but
line
also-
is 0, right? I would assume.
But also to expand on her question, she said, why hasn't it gone up yet?
Right.
Well, we discussed that recently. We're trying to get them to bring us up with, the cost of living.
Yep.
But oh shit, I forgot what this. Oh, every year, depending on what the government feels like doing, they raise it, but it's never
they-
more than like $20, $30.
Right.
It's a COLA adjustment that it's an annoying letter that basically tells you,
Yeah.
hey, here's an extra
just got it,
like $8 or $10.
Right.
But I was supposed to get.
January.
I got to call Social Security because I got to check that. I mean, I got to check. I got a letter in the mail saying I was supposed to get $300 more.
I
And
wish.
No, they took 300 off my last check. They took it.
What?
Rude.
They were like, yeah,
Yeah.
you're
Wow.
so I was making like whatever. It said that I was going to get $1,400 a month. And then because I was making like it stated, it's like your 1,100 or however much money it was, like your 1,100 is going to be now 14.
They told me the same thing, and then I looked and they only raised it $20. I was like, but you said I was supposed to get 14.
Right.
They
was like, where's
took
my
money off my
14?
check. They took $100 off my last check. I was like,
Oh.
what the fuck?
They didn't take it. They gave me an extra 20. Then they told me I was supposed to start getting 14, but then they never gave me the 14. They just kept it at the
Right.
extra 20. So I was like, okay.
Oh,
And
and
that's-
and we get to pay for our insurance out of that. You know, it's not like
Exactly.
it's not like Medicare is free, and it only pays for up to $3,000 medically on what you do before you have to pay everything. So
Oh shit! You might as well just not
I
have
was
insurance
making
at that point.
I was making out. Well,
Right.
I went through that period of not having insurance. I'm glad I have it. I don't have to. I'm not in debt as much.
right.
But when I was on Medicaid, I paid no copays. I paid nothing. I didn't pay for my medicine. And then you switch me to Medicare, like and they automatically switch you after 2 years of being on Social Security. They don't ask you nothing. You are on
you get
Medicare.
switched. I'm on Medicare too.
And it's shitty. You have to pay for it. You have to pay for your medicine. I don't have
Yeah.
money.
Right.
If your prescription is $1,200, which is what my one was, I'm covered for 2 months. And then I'm
Right.
in a donut hole for 8 months where I'm paying for everything. And then I'm paying for 25% of that $1,200.
Right.
And that's the one blood sugar medicine. That's not even, but I did go, a good advice is to talk to your doctor constantly every year and ask them to find lower prices, lower priced options, because I did that and that dropped it down to $60 a month. And
that's good.
now I'm well within my Medicare. You know, I never get the donut hole, which is amazing.
Yeah,
That's great.
This is my motivation right here to make this podcast blow up, because
Right.
I have 2 years of Medicaid and then I'm screwed and I'm a type 1 diabetic and I'm back to exactly where I was a couple years ago, and that's how I went blind. So yeah, I need to get off all that crap so I'm making more money.
I say all the time, I am so thankful for my family, because if it wasn't for my family, I would be drowning.
Yep.
But
I would have died.
They expect for you to depend on your family. Who says I have family to depend on? Who says they want to be doing this? They shouldn't be doing this.
You got to realize they don't care.
They don't
exactly.
No, they want you. I swear to God, they're trying to die out the population. Like, I swear, if it wasn't for my parents, if it was not for my dad, first of all, I wasn't approved for Medicaid until I was on disability for 2 years. So if he wasn't able, and I'm 28, like I was 26 when I lost my vision. If he wasn't able to put me on through his company with special doctor's forms and signatures and stuff, I would have died. I would have already died, because I would have not been able to get my insulin. And I was already like, my doctors, some of my doctors were like, I don't know what's going to happen to you at this point. We're not giving you a 6-month anything look ahead, because like your body is shutting down on you and there's not much we can do. Like, that's just what it is. So unless you get health insurance, like, you're fucked. That's just what it is. Like that, and that's, I swear to God, the government is trying to like die us out. They want us to die. We're overpopulated. It's
but that's
too much.
That's one of the biggest reasons why I cannot like stay on this. I cannot stay on SS. I cannot stay on like that's
but at the
such
same
a
time,
big
they don't
catalyst.
want you to. That is the whole point. Like, it's initiative. They want you to go find a job. They don't want you to be so dependent on them, which is why everything is so low, which is why you could barely pay for anything, because they want you to be uncomfortable.
Yes.
But the problem is that
which is fine, but nobody wants to hire us. That's the problem.
Exactly. That's where the problem comes in.
That's where the trade-off has to happen. Like, if you want us to work, then you have to educate employers about the capabilities of the disabled. Like, you have to pull the stigma out of the workplace. And until you pull the stigma out of the workplace,
there's nothing we can do.
there's nothing else we can really do. And that's one of the things that I think, I don't know if the NFB has because I'm thinking about joining it. So I have a problem when I join things. When I join things, I become very vocal and very active, and then I end up with responsibilities that I didn't have.
Here.
Like, so I'm trying to try, and my wife knows that about me. Like, I'm a person that will go into the place and then leave the place the vice president. So
Brittany, we're waiting for you to do that, Brittany.
Right?
That's what I said, because Brittany's the president. Brittany's going to be the president. I got you.
Brittany is the president. Brittany's the president of NFB.
I don't think the president would appreciate that.
Here's why I say it. All right, so this is going to be
our
pitch
president.
to you. This is gonna be my pitch to
She's
you,
our
Brittany.
president.
This is going to be my pitch to you.
Brittany,
why I think you should. Think about the population of the NFB, right? It's mostly older. It's mostly older adults, right? They're not interested in workplace equality because most of them have already retired or hit retirement age. who else is going to speak up for those who are in the working age, for those who are coming into school age, and somebody who's in that age group.
Right.
No
Well,
one's
and
going
see, that's the thing. Like, you know, when you're growing up, your parents put you in all this stuff, right? If you're blind, they put you in all the communities, they do that. And then you're 18 and you're not you can't join the youth ones anymore. And then it's up to you at the age of 18 through your 20s, through your 30s to involve yourself.
Through your 50s, realistically.
Right. And we don't do that.
And that's the donut. That's
we
the
don't do that
donut hole
shit.
of blindness. Like that's our donut hole there, because by the time you're an adult, there's no, like, think about it. I learned about the Paralympics for the first time. Like, I did Special Olympics as a kid. Yes, I used to be thin and I could actually run track. And then I discovered food, and that ended all of that. So I did the Special Olympics when I was a kid. I had no idea there was a Paralympics until I joined TikTok. And much less a Paralympics for martial arts. Yes, please. Like, I didn't know that existed when I was
me. Fun fact.
I'm actually in contact with the Paralympics right now.
Oh wow, cool.
So
fun fact. I have a black belt.
Hell yeah.
I have a black belt in Taekwondo.
Funny, so do I.
Kick your ass.
So do I.
Taekwondo
That
or
was
karate?
actually my martial art, Taekwondo.
Me too. Yes.
So that was like, so think about it. If you have people in this age group, in our age group, which is 20s and 30s, who are not only active, but vocal, then you could actually pull in, because I guarantee you, like, the first thing that you hear a lot of people say, I don't know if you guys see it a lot in your comments, but I see it a lot in mine. I didn't know anybody else did this. I didn't know anybody else felt this way. I didn't know anybody else could.
Yeah,
I thought I was
if
the
you
only
vocalize
one.
and active. Imagine if you vocalize and activated them. Like, hey, look, join your local NFB and become an active member, so that people in our age group can actually join in, and there can actually be things for us. We can actually advocate for our issues, because until there's somebody our age advocating for our issues will never get heard.
Never.
Jay.
Right.
I think I just fell in love with Jay.
That's why I'm thinking about doing NFB here in Philly, because I don't know what the age group of that group is. But if there's nobody in the 20s and their 30s advocating for workplace equality,
that's right,
for sports, because we have the Blind Sports Organization here, but I don't care about goalball personally, and baseball.
goalball. Like,
waiting.
I want to join the team.
I wanted to be on their judo team because I am a martial arts fan, and the judo instructor retired before I, like, literally the week I discovered it existed. They were like, "Yeah, the judo instructor just retired." I'm like, so now they're looking for a new, like, judo instructor. So, like, I want to be a part of, like, of a group that, like, thinks about that, like, our age group, and can, like, give us things like that. Imagine if at the NFB convention, which, by the way, if at all possible, we should make a project to get all of the blind talk creators at one NFB convention.
I had said that in a video. I was saying, like, well, that was before I realized that convention this year will be virtual again. But I can't wait for it to be in person again, because, like, I feel like we should all meet up. Like,
it'll
it would
be
be
next
so
year, probably.
freaking awesome. We say that every year. I'm not going to say anything. Just listen when it is.
No,
but they pushed New Orleans back to next year, because I was say I had the plane ticket. That's where the extra plane ticket came from, Kate. Because I had bought my ticket already for New Orleans, because it was supposed to be in New Orleans. Yeah,
Jay, we gotta have you back on. I have one of the girls that she's the team captain of the goalball team for the USA Paralympic team. She's gonna come on. Because that's the crazy, like, I wanted to get involved in sports. Like, I'm huge in the gym and all this stuff. And everywhere I called, they're like, nope, we only do youth. Nope, it's only youth. And then finally, I accidentally, so when I'm calling about the crosswalk in the front of my neighborhood, the guy is like, well, why do you need a crosswalk? And I'm like, well, I'm visually impaired. And he's like, do you get involved in sport? Because I walk to the gym, you know? And he's like, oh my God, there's a whole team of, like, disabled people that his son plays. So he gives me the number, and I was like, well, I'm 28. He was like, yeah, no, there's adults. So now I'm joining water skiing this summer.
See,
I need to find me something to get into.
Right.
It's like, it's next to free. She's like, everything is, and it's like, if you're good, you can try out, you can be a competitive team. They travel all around the world. she's like, and everything is basically free. I pay $75 for the whole year, or I mean, for the whole summer. And then she's like, equipment, all of it is taken care of. The only thing you have to pay for is if they travel out of the country, which they do, but only on the competitive team. And like, they have fundraisers and events where you get to meet other people that are our age that do this stuff, because they, you know, they put you in a group and they're active, and it's awesome. Like,
see, I need to find something that'll have me active. Like, I need to get into a sport.
For real.
So I won't be fat anymore, you know?
You're not fat.
Oh, you're not. No, you're not fat.
No more. It's like, no. Yeah.
Tell you what I tell everybody else. You're in shape. Round is a shape. I am in shape. Round is a shape.
That is true, indeed.
It all depends on how you feel about the shape you have, right?
I love my shape. Don't get me wrong, but I do need to be active. You know, it's just healthy.
Yeah.
It is healthy.
For the lungs, for the brain, for the inside, for the heart.
The blood flow.
Yeah.
Right.
Even like your mindset changes when you're active.
She's our fashion model. She's perfect. You know what I mean?
Imagine my body. Imagine my body better than it is already.
Brittany, did you see that thing I tagged you in on Instagram? Did you apply to that? I tagged you on one of those like modeling things where it's like where you're looking for.
Oh, that was you.
Yeah, I tagged you in their ad for it, and you can just apply. I would put a profile together. I would put like a little what is that called?
Oh, wait, I have to go back and look again. Because I don't. Was it a long time ago? Like a couple weeks ago?
Yeah.
Okay,
I meant to bring it up to you again.
I researched it. So definitely a scam. It was a scam. I definitely researched it.
Is it a scam?
Yeah, there's a lot of people.
They have a lot of followers. There was like 500,000 followers and stuff.
Yeah, you buy those.
Oh, I thought it was like something you put in your what is that thing called? Your, not a resume, the thing with all your pictures.
Portfolio.
That's the one.
Yes.
I'm gonna go back to school. I gotta go.
I was reading the comments and stuff, and a lot of girls were in the comments like, I did this, I paid the premium and haven't heard back from them since. And like when I'm looking at modeling stuff, like when I say you have to research, like I dig deep, because Instagram, which is why I stay away from it lately, is like it's so many scammers.
I know,
people know that people want to be in the fashion industry, and they hop on that, and like it's excuse me, my throat did a thing. It's a whole thing.
So that's the scam for women. Like fake Tinder profiles are the scam for men.
Wait, what? There's fake Tinder profiles?
Oh, they're all fake Tinder profiles.
Right.
Well, so who are you talking to?
So all those people taking pictures with the tigers, that's fake. Because I saw a whole bunch of people when I used to be at Tinder. Like, I'm like, what is this thing? Everybody's taking pictures with tigers.
What?
Interesting.
I don't know. I've never had Tinder.
Did you guys see Tiger King?
Yeah.
Yes.
No.
And I guess
good for you, Jay.
Jay, I swear I lost like 20 IQ points watching that show.
Me too, yeah.
And then like once I started watching it, I was like, well, I'm here. I gotta finish it.
Right.
I'm in for the long haul.
Everybody's talking about it. They want to talk about it on a podcast. I got to watch the whole thing. Yeah, it was horrible, just horrible. And that guy got a pardon, right? From
no. I heard he did. No. He got denied.
They completely ignored him.
Good.
He went to the limo. And look, Jay, ignored by creator.
Yes.
Oh my God, I'm using that too. I feel like we all should start using that. I swear to God,
I'm using that every time. Ignored by creator.
I usually like my answer to a hate comment. Like I got a hate comment on one of my videos not too long ago, and it was like, "I hate the way you sound," and my response was like, "Damn, that sucks for you." Like, listening. Like, okay, swipe. What are you gonna do about it?
Like, for some people, that's the only attention they're ever going to get, and that's the way they want it. Like that's their 15 seconds of fame.
My first and only like hate comment, like it was just straight up a hate comment, not a if you were blind. It was straight up hate. The person was claiming to know me. That's the part that pissed me off.
Oh,
and it was like, and she was like, "Calm down, sweetie." Like she's like, "Guys, she just cares that came for attention." And of course, they didn't have a picture or anything, nothing on their page. Because I was like, "Yo, if I know you, please tell me who you are, so I can come punch you in your face right now." Because you, like, and my boyfriend was just like, "Britt, the trolls they just want to get under your skin, and it worked. And ever since
Right.
then, I was like, okay. I
Yeah.
never did.
I'm
I was
gonna be
like,
the one. Go ahead.
I was done.
I was like, I'm gonna be the one. So I was at a bar. I don't know if I told the story yet. I was at a bar, and we were leaving, and this was not that long ago. It was probably like 2 months ago or so. And some girl. Thank God I didn't hear it. I mean, I knew all the people that were at the bar. I don't know who this girl was, but she was like, she just has that for attention, because everyone was saying, I was literally saying bye to my friends. And all the boys heard it, and they were like, ooh, she's not the one you want to say that about. She will fight the fucking shit out of you. Like, don't. And like, but that's the thing. Like, see, everyone like on TikTok that like, I'm always positive, but don't try me. I will absolutely go to jail. I've been one time. I will go again.
Okay.
I will knock you out. Do not try me.
And that's what I'm saying.
Do not try me.
Don't let the niceness fool you, darling.
But also, what pissed me off about that comment is like, I have the confidence to stand up for myself. It might not be the healthiest way, because I will fight you, but like, what about the people that like, what about the blind people? You know why you never run into blind people? Because they don't want to go out in public, because everyone is staring at them. Everyone's got something to say. Like, they are scared to go out in public, and it's because of bitches like her that run her mouth. And like, I want to stand up for the people that feel like they have to lock themselves away. Like, who's standing up for them? So like, yeah, I'm gonna fight you, because no one's gonna say, like, thank God you said it to me and not somebody else that's like a little more, like not confident with their situation. You know what I mean?
Also, you're standing up for the people. Like, that's why people are afraid to walk around with the cane. They're trying to blend in.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Man, fuck all that. I'm gonna use my cane. I said wear my cane.
My sarcasm is just like, that's my instant response to everything. So I'm like, oh, he's just using that for attention. Oh, he just said that for attention. Like,
oh,
like,
good one. That is so good.
That's just how they act. Like, people only say things out of their mouths to get attention sometimes. And you'll get the attention. It's just not the way you want.
It's gonna be the way, right?
Yeah.
I had a friend like he's blind as well, and like it'll be like a group of us all with canes or whatever, and then like he'll be like, yeah, we're just carrying these canes because we want to check every month. We're not really blind, we just want the check.
We just want the check. That's sweet, sweet check.
That awesome check that pays for all my bills, my sweet vacations I go on, all my insulin. It's nice.
Right.
You guys should try it. Try and go blind just to get a cool check every month.
I've actually had people say to me like, oh yeah, you're on Social Security. Yeah, they must pay you a nice check, huh? What?
Oh my God, I had a friend, and she was talking to her husband, and she was like, I got my back pay, right? And like, I think my back pay was like $5,600. Like, it's not a lot of money. You know what I mean? Like, it was not shit. And it went straight to my savings account. Like, like with the amount of debt I have, $5,000 isn't anything. And she was like, you got $5,000. And she looks at her husband, and she's like, you want to go blind? Like, can I beat the shit out of you so you go blind? Like, she's like, we need 56. And I was like, that's the issue with like people that are like your mindset. Fuck you. Fuck you. Are you serious? Like, you think that like 50, like, go get a fucking job if you need $5,600. Stop being lazy and sitting at home and living off your husband.
Job.
Exactly.
Here's something you can bring up now. Now that we've all experienced the last year, remind people when they talk about, oh, you must get a lot from the government. The same government that gave us $2,800 to live off of for what? The better part of 13 months. You think that same government is paying us a high check a month?
Right.
No, you just learned what it felt like to live on Social Security for 12 months.
Right. That's what it feels like.
You got just enough to keep your head somewhat above. No, you didn't get enough to get above water. You got enough to see what the top of the water may look like.
Right.
And now you know what it feels like.
But if you ask me, that little bit of that's one person's rent for 1 month, not 13 months. So I'm like, your head was never above the water. That's
what I'm saying. You got enough to see what the top of the water may look like.
They literally only gave us that check so we can go, because like, what else are you going to do with it besides shop? You literally can't do anything with that money but shop.
The purpose of the check was to stimulate the economy, not to help us. It was never meant to help us. Because
it's like they gave us the money because they know we're going to give it back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
Well,
Also, and like that's another thing when it comes to Social Security, right? Like everyone's like, "Oh yeah, you get a free check, bitch. I worked for fucking 12 years.
No.
That's my money. That's my
Right.
money I paid into the system. What the
Yeah.
hell? This is not
And they
free money.
they didn't even want to give me my money.
Yeah.
The money I
Exactly.
worked
It's
my ass
literally
for.
my money.
Right.
It's literally mine.
But I mean, think about again the way it's spun to the media, or the way that Social Security checks are basically obtained in the media. It's someone faking, walking around with a neck brace on after a fake car accident or something like that, and now they're collecting a check worth millions of dollars and just living off the fat of the land. And people don't realize that's not the case at all.
Yeah.
That's nowhere near the case at all.
Nope.
Yeah.
And people don't realize, like you guys just said, you don't get that money unless you have worked and paid taxes. That's the only way to get
only way.
money, unless
Because
you're SSI, which is
yeah,
literally nothing. Literally nothing.
it's like
Right.
$600 a month,
Not even.
something like that.
That's all it is. Like
for some people, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I told my friend, I was like, there's nothing in the stimulus bill for disabled people. And I feel like the only kid that didn't get a present for Christmas. Like, why didn't you give me anything? And he said, well, you're getting the stimulus check. And I said, yeah, but my bills are $1,250 a month. $1,400, you're literally giving me $150.
Right.
Literally.
For how long? For how long? He said, but you get your disability check. I said, I worked for that. It's
Right.
not like
It's
anybody
my
gave
money.
me that,
Yeah.
right?
It's literally my money.
It's a
He's like-
monthly refund of
he's
what
like,
you've already
yeah,
put in.
But then I was like, yeah, okay. So they gave me $1,510 and I had to earn 1,400 of that. But
Yep.
you have kids. So suddenly you get $1,500 for
Yep.
the kids.
For
Why
each
am
child.
I getting less for being a responsible adult? You know, like,
Yeah.
Right.
but I do believe kids are our future. So I have no problem with that. But it was
Right.
1.9 trillion. Why couldn't they have made it 2 trillion and kind of given 49 million people $500 a week for the next year, like they did the people that are unemployed? I'm not employed. I pay my rent first. I don't need any of the assistance that they're giving away to everybody else, but there's nothing for me. And so everybody's going to have more money. So they're going to spend more on products that I can no longer afford, that they can.
Right.
That's inflation. And that's what's going to kill the disabled community.
Yep.
Unless somebody speaks up. This is where,
Right.
again, circling
That's why
back
we're
to-
here.
Hand me the
circling
mic.
back
Got it.
Hand me the mic. I'm gonna fight everybody in Congress.
I believe. That I believe.
Look, let's storm the Capitol building, damn it.
No.
No. I know. Listen. No.
Look,
No.
Look, not trying to make it about race or anything, but we're just gonna put Kate in front and Jason
Yeah.
because they're less likely to shoot you.
I
You
just
know?
want 5,000
wrong.
blind people wandering around aimlessly trying to find the
I thought
Capitol.
about
You
that.
know what I mean?
Nah.
5,000
No, it's
5,000
gonna be the people
taps.
it's gonna be the
right?
people in wheelchairs too.
Yeah.
The deaf people, all of us.
Yeah.
But here's the thing: we're not. No. See, like, there's the one thing that I'm good at, right? Like, this is why I want to be a motivational speaker. And my sister told me this like a year ago. She was like, "You're good at like you're creative and you're funny and people like your energy and stuff." But she's like, "But you're good at making people feel." Like I will so if I were to go to Congress, because I've applied to speak on the behalf of insulin and diabetics and all that stuff. I know how to make people feel. Like I can sit there and make these like Congress people, whatever we all want to address them as, and be like, hey, like you all have kids, you all have, this, family members, you have friends, you like, come on, like I'm good at like making people feel. I wouldn't sit up there and be like, fuck you. Like I wouldn't, no. It's not like, it's not about that. It's about like, I need them to listen because we need to be heard. You know what I mean?
Just consider us. I mean, listen to us and then decide, but just don't ignore us for everybody else,
Right.
Yeah.
You guys, it's like 5:12.
Okay.
My
Brittany
boyfriend.
got it.
I gotta go. I don't know why, but I have to go.
Well, I love you all. Let's do some final wrap ups and let everybody know where they can find us. How about Shy?
All right. So you could find me at Not So Shy on pretty much everything. TikTok and Instagram, Twitter, and YouTube. And then my Instagram has like 2 underscores after it.
It does.
And that's shy spelled with an X instead of an S. So XHY.
XHY. And if you want to find out how shifty Max is, you're gonna have to tune into Random Chatter.
Oh,
Brittany, Brittany, how you doing?
How you doing? So no, I am 3 underscores blind beauty underscore. It looks like 1 continuous underscore, but it's 3. So 3 underscores blind beauty, spelled correctly, no spaces, underscore on Instagram. I had a brain fart. Instagram, TikTok. What's my other one, guys? I have another one. YouTube. I'm gonna start promoting putting stuff on my YouTube. So I'm blind beauty on all of them.
I love that, by the way. And I found Shy's like soprano singing on her YouTube because she followed Public Access America. So yay.
I need to go do that.
That's like my videos that I made for work for my kids.
I love it. Caitlin, where can people find you?
Okay, can I just first say, I had no idea we were still recording. So all the F-bombs I dropped, I thought we ended it.
Shit fuck. That's why there's an explicit on our podcast.
Yeah, I was gonna say there's definitely explicit on our podcast.
Damn, I thought like when we ended it, like that was it, and then we were just like hanging because we still had the live YouTube going.
Oh yeah, we do.
So I'm like, yeah, I can talk about and just throw it out. Damn, I'm so sorry for everyone that's.
I love content. I'll
Just
always
like
collect it. Shit.
Okay, well, anyways, that's another side of me there, everyone. Don't try and fight me. Anyways, TikTok, it's Caitlin Wackerman, and then Instagram, it's Kate Wack. It's KATEWACK. Go follow me.
Love it. Jay, where can we find you?
Thank y'all for having me. I really appreciate it, and I would love to come back.
You're always welcome back, Jay.
Yes.
You can find me on TikTok at The Baritone Blurred, and Instagram. TikTok and Instagram at The Baritone Blurred, and on Twitter, I may actually post something every now and again at Baritone Blurred because Twitter's too stingy with characters. Mm-hmm. And I'm thinking about doing something with the YouTube channel, so stay tuned with that. I'll let you know.
I love it.
Oh, yeah.
I love that. And you can find Public Access America on YouTube at Public Access America, where you can find the playlist for Inspirations Beyond Disabilities, and you can find our podcast streaming everywhere on every service that you can reach. Thank you to Overcast and Pocketcast for featuring us this week.
Yay.
Yay. Thank you. You guys, I had no idea that we were still recording. Jason, fire me, man. Fire me. Why didn't you guys calm me down? Fire me, man.
You know what's this episode of Inspirations Beyond Disabilities After Dark?
It was all normal conversation until we got to about the 58 point of the hour, and then all of a sudden Caitlin would just go crazy for like 6 minutes, get us right past the point where I could break in and say, "Hey, by the way, new episode."
Wow, I wish I really suck. That's it. I just suck.
Okay, bye.
Well, that doesn't mean we're going to use the next hour. We probably will, but we don't necessarily.
Oh, good. Can you cut out the part where I said I was going to fight everyone at the Capitol? I'm not trying to get sued.
No.
I'm broke.
No.
Can you please cut that part out? Cut
No, the emails have already gone out to join the riots, the Capitol.
Yeah, let's go ahead. We're all gonna do
we're all gonna tap with our canes at the same time.
Like one massive unison tap.
Yeah.
Oh
like
my god.
Or something.
Let's like not make me look like I'm trying to, no. I'm gonna have the feds knocking on my door tomorrow.
Yep. She's gonna get a letter from the IRS.
I know.
You know, I aired the Helsinki summit just on Public Access America, and then there was a van in my parking lot, and everybody knew it was law enforcement except me. But I'm blind and I never leave the apartment, so eventually they came knocking on my door, and they were like the FBI, and they were like,
"Wow,
you never leave. We have nothing. Can you take that down?" And I was like, "No, I'm not going to take that down." And they were like, "Well, you stole it." And I was like, "No, it's government property. We all paid for it. I'm keeping it." And they were like, damn it. But they tried stalking me for a week and I just never left the apartment.
They were like, oh, we're just gonna knock on his door.
He's a crafty one.
Oh my God.
That is hilarious.
It is.
That's crazy.
That's fun. But we're not recording anymore.
Okay.
Oh, but
Well,
we're
great.
still streaming.